Happy Tuesday, everybody. How did your weekend go? How was your Monday? Mondays suck, but we got through it. I just heard a rumor that Muscles and Mascara is in here, guys. She tried to be sneaky and hide something from us. Today is her birthday. Now, we talk to her in Discord. She comes in to chat. We text back and forth. She's in all the Facebook groups. She failed to mention a very significant day. I think we need to all tell Muscles and Mascara happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend. You know you can't get too much from us. Oh, it's Pat's son's birthday too. Well, happy birthday to Pat's son as well. So for those of you that were in the show yesterday for Michelle Reynolds, by the way, I'm all out of sync. Welcome. I was chatting a little bit this morning, and if I missed you, I apologize. I do. I like to go through and say hello to everybody one by one. I guess it's annoying, so I had to kind of quit doing it, and I just grab, here and there. It's like I get comments after the show that's like, you sound like Nancy from Romper Room. You're not that important. You don't need to tell everybody hi. Oh my God, who do you think you are? I have to skip through the first 5 minutes of your show because you tell everybody hi. So a good welcome to the channel. Good morning. Aaron Hicks gets a hello because Aaron Hicks said it's not annoying. It's not. Had a comment on the show yesterday too that said I need to invest in a new mic because of my high-pitched voice, which I've never been accused of having before. This was from Archangel. Said the good channels would know better, basically. Yes. Got to do something about the voice and being too welcoming. I think we'll be okay. Around here. So, Rockin' Robin said, do it, Brooks, from CLL Romper Room. Exactly. That's what we need. The CLL. That's what we are. Dudes, that's what we are. We are the CLL Romper Room. For real. Oh, hang on. I got a mod genie. Give me a second. If I can find my own channel. I can't do it from StreamYard, so I got to do it over here. Where's Jeannie? Where's my friend Jeannie? There she is. There we go. All right. Good morning, UFC Frog. Just came in, said, what up? All right, so hopefully everybody made it through your Monday. You're here, so obviously the Monday wasn't that terrible. Had a great weekend. Again, for those of you that were here yesterday morning for the show about Michelle Reynolds, still no update. As far as we know, she's still wandering around New Orleans. If you missed the show, go catch it. It was about hour and a half yesterday, the way I like it. I have been losing track of time a lot. So I'm trying to remind myself that, hey, you've kept them busy for 2-3 hours. Going to try not to do that. But we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Besides Muscles and Mascara's birthday, 29 again. There's going to be a members live tomorrow afternoon. I don't know the time yet, but if you check the members tab, you'll see it. And for some reason, over the weekend, I guess the football wasn't good enough. There was a ton of rumors that came out, a ton of rumors. I had a lot of messages from you guys. Love it. Keep them coming. I can't really address these rumors because the originator could only be Lindsay, and I can't figure out who Lindsay would be talking to. So we're going to get into that during the show. MeAN has come back. MeAN has made herself relevant, I guess is the word we're looking for again. We discussed MeAN about a month and a half ago. Do you believe MeAN? Do you not? Put a poll up on the members tab on the channel. We had a little discussion about it last night. I don't, either she's lying or has been lied to. I'm not ready yet to start calling her Megan Sue. I'm not ready for that yet. But you all be the judge because we're going to get through it. We also have a special guest backstage, someone that we haven't touched base with in quite a while. The one and only JPL. Good morning, JPL.
Good morning.
How is it going? Are you going to tell Muscles and Mascara happy birthday?
I know. I'm so happy. She's a year older, but by her picture, she doesn't look very old. So what, like 16, 17 now?
16 or 17. Well, that's what she gets for trying to hide it from us. That's the reason we're going to have to keep poking her with this all day. That's what she gets
I know.
to hide it.
Yeah. She hides it well, very well. So happy birthday, girl.
Happy birthday. So we have some comments from the show from Friday to go through. And I'm going to go ahead and just ask you right off before we get to the show. What do you think of MeAN doubling down? We haven't heard from her in a month and a half. Well, almost 2 months. Oh my gosh, this is October 4th, JPL. Almost
Woo!
months. So she came out about the first week talking about all this stuff. Now she's back talking about it again. The story has changed a little bit. That happens when we sleep, right? We're not going to be too harsh about that. But what are your thoughts on this?
She's broken the silence chain. So I'm sure that Lindsay isn't too happy with her. And Sammy's parents and attorneys must just be livid. But there's certain things I believe, and there's other things that she's like, yeah, it's coming from the Sammy, and we can't believe what she says. Just can't. I'm sorry. And was her daughter one of the girls that was in the back of the car with them? How well does she know her, that, you know what I mean, and the family? You know.
A lot of things to go through now. Got a lot of questions, of course, for the one and only JPL. When you were doing your investigating in Truckee, did you happen to see MeAN? We know what she looks like because she's been on camera now. She's not just.
I know. I'm trying to remember if I remembered seeing her. I can't tell. You know, I can't remember. There were so many people in there. I wish that when they did that news conference, they really panned that room, and they didn't, because then you can kind of look and see. But there were people standing up against the wall, and so yeah, she could have been there. You never know.
She could have been there. I would hope she would be there because she has a lot of information.
Yes, she does. Yes.
She does. Another channel, it's called What's the Obsession. They put it together, compiled it the way I like, nicely and neatly. I love that channel anyway.
I do too.
I love their Chris Watts stuff. You know, when I can't sleep sometimes, I'm like, yeah, I haven't visited Watts Island in a while.
The Watts Island.
I'll go check out the channel. I can't solve John Bonet tonight, but I'm going to visit Watts Island.
Yeah, why not?
So I'm going to play a little bit of that. It's just, it's like the story got a little bit bigger from when she called Ix channel. You know, we talked about it a month and a half ago, JPL, and we kind of put it together. But now the story got a little, maybe because I've slept since then, the story got bigger to me. FBI interrogations, a 911 call, and I'm not going to listen to one more second of that scanner. Not even one. Can somebody find anywhere on the scanner, the police scanner, or anyone called 911 and saw lights going in the damn lake?
Yeah, exactly. That's a big one, that's a big 911. So that would be you know, not hard to find.
Mm,
But it seems like maybe it's just I think it could be a rumor.
got a lot of rumors. Got a lot of rumors.
Because if that one's, I mean, that would be a big one. That would be a big thing if somebody actually saw lights going into the lake.
Mhm.
They would definitely be going out, or a ranger or somebody.
I would think somebody, even if you just have a scanner at your home, some people do, and you would hear that, you'd say, well, they're basically saying piss on this. We don't care if there's a car going in the lake. Somebody would go out there. I believe somebody would. It's not on Nevada counties. It's not on Placers. The 911, you would think, would go to one or the other or both. We would be,
Unless they took it off you know what I mean? I don't think so, but maybe they did something so that you can't get that information because it's part of the investigation. I don't know.
it wasn't on there a month and a half ago, and people are revisiting the scanners now. I'm not going to
Yeah,
another
I
minute.
don't believe it.
I'm not going to listen to any more of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no phone call. So I don't know who told her that there was a call made because there was lights going in the lake. See, names or an association would really help us in situations like this. Okay.
Yeah,
Over the weekend, we heard about a $500,000 life insurance policy. I'm not saying that any of the creators are making this up, lying about it. I guarantee that rumor was circulating because we heard it a month ago. This is not a new rumor. We're just talking about it, and that's fine. Things come back up. That's how it rolls. That would be something that only Lindsay, Tony, possibly dad, maybe dad, I don't know, grandpa, grandma would know. Who did they talk to that they have a $500,000 life insurance policy on Kylie Rodney that they're waiting on a check for? They would have had to have said that to someone that had repeated it to someone that more than likely made it into a Reddit or a Facebook group. Where'd it come from?
yeah.
That's what I
That,
was to explain over
yeah,
the weekend. Are you going to go live about this? Are you going to go live about this? And I said, no, we discussed it a month ago. I don't know the originator of the rumor. That would help me.
right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we could talk about that all day long, but we really don't know who. And I still can't believe $500,000. And does she have that on her other child too?
$1 million for two kids. I tell you what, my kid
Yeah.
was going, uh-uh.
You know, that's unless she planned on using that money for, I just can't imagine that. I can't. I can't wrap my head around that one. Life
5K.
insurance and
And I don't know about your dealings with insurance companies or anybody in here. I'm asking everybody. Insurance companies have a big, big problem with parting with their money. Huge. They don't like to write checks. They make money by screwing us over and holding on to the money. Now, I want to know the name of the company because I'm signing the F up. What insurance company is going to write you a check without a cause of death?
right, right,
Who would cremate their child? I know people are tired about this argument from me, but it's okay. I'm spinning it a different way. Who would cremate their child with 500K waving in the wind without a cause of death?
right. That's true because you make a point of how um she was cremated, and usually people get life insurance for, you know, expenses, funeral expenses.
Mhm.
But there were no funeral expenses except for the cremation. And even that, my friends own a funeral home and it could be as low as $7.95.
Mhm.
So what's she planning on doing with that money? And I would feel weird even receiving it, knowing that that was on my daughter's life and then put it on, I don't know, to save the lodge. I don't know. Pay off her father. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, life insurance, I mean, and is Lindsay even that fiscally responsible? Now, we have life insurance here because if something happened to me, you know, my
Yeah,
my husband wouldn't, he might need some money. He's going to have to put me in the ground and I have an income to replace. Same with
right.
him, so that's just, and it's not enough for a lifetime, don't get me wrong. And there are some underwriting, some underwriting in insurance. It says if you are fishing one day and you have a heart attack falling out of the boat, we will pay you more. It's freaky accidents, okay? Insurance companies, I haven't ever had one that was my friend. I don't care.
Mine either.
Something as simple as just getting backed into at the damn Quick Trip, they'll give you hell about. But we're supposed to believe that without a cause of death, they're going to be like, $500,000. Here you go. Don't spend that all in one place.
Yeah, I just that money seems really dirty to me and just really wrong. It just seems wrong. There's something wrong about it, and I can't get behind it. I can't, especially for a child that you really don't know what happened. You
Mm-hmm.
still don't know what happened, unless you do know what happened, and you're holding all the cards, and you're the one that's telling, okay, you can say something now. Police, you can say something now.
I just have never heard of an insurance company without a cause of death and a final autopsy that would write a check. I'm not saying it didn't happen, and I'm not saying that who is talking about it wasn't told that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah,
I don't doubt
pretty
the
pretty
quality.
quick too, pretty fast too.
Uh huh. Life insurance dealings, which I have never had to deal with personally, like I never had a life insurance policy come into me. People that I do know that have had to deal with it, sometimes it would take up to 6 months to get
That's what I'm saying.
insurance
Uh,
sorted out. Have a friend,
yeah,
her
she's
mother-in-law.
on the fast pass.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine. Her mother-in-law passed away after Memorial Day. Okay, so this is September. The probate held things up for 3 months. And then the insurance company, they said it could take another 3 to 6 months. So I'm trying to figure out how, when, or if Lindsay gets a cool 500,000 without a cause of death.
Hmm. Got me. That's some, like I said, that's a fast pass if she did, and I don't get it. I just don't understand it. Except I do remember, Captain Sam Brown telling me that the mother has a lot to do with this, with the information being put out
Okay, so let's talk about
because she's underage.
let's
And
talk.
I'm like, okay,
You had
Jesus.
you had some very candid conversations. Now, was it particularly because of Kylie's age, or that Lindsay does not want any discussion regarding her family's tragedy?
I think it's the age. She's going to use that age to keep a lot of stuff, and they can't say a lot unless she okays it, which is kind of weird. The way he said that is like, "Ugh, so you're waiting on this twit to talk? I mean, Or if she never talks? Does she, decides this is my personal thing, and that's why I wish the dad would. I wish the dad would say something.
I wish the dad would. I doubt he will, because he addressed the community meeting and with disdain.
Yeah.
These are the parties your kids are going to. He said, my daughter is 16. She's getting ready to go to college. She's a straight A student. Help me, help me. Then you have, Lindsay, I'm sorry. I went back to bed. We're going to go through the News Nation clip where she said, I put it back on the channel. I had it unlisted for a long time because I went through it every now and then, where when she said she realized that basically Tony hadn't seen Kylie. Nobody around the house, around the lodge had seen Kylie. She said she reached out to a dear friend. I don't think she means her dear friend. Who would the dear friend be? My guess is Jerry, because we don't know. I'm just guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, possibly. And we were talking about how, if she's coming back, if they're coming back from hot August nights, why wouldn't they just zip over to the party? And, or were they, I don't know. I think that's so odd. Because didn't she get home at 11, the mother? I think that she got home at 11.
11, then we heard that the text that Kylie, I don't think sent for some reason. I just never have believed Kylie sent it. We've heard 11:30 and we've heard 12:15. Those 45 minutes is a big deal to me. It's also a big deal to me that Pat K has been a member for 11 months. Do you know what that means?
That's big.
That means that 11 months ago today, we started offering memberships because Pat K is our very first member. I wish I had a song for this. I'm going to make a song for this. Pat K is the original. She is the OG. She is the first member. And
oh my.
11,
wow.
11 months. Thank you, Pat K.
Woo woo. Go Pat.
Pat's going to get a special jacket. Like in Greece, the pink ladies. I'm going to start. Yeah, Pat's getting a jacket.
She's going to be a pinky.
Pat's going to get a jacket. OG Pat.
All right.
And what a thing. Today's 11 months. The OG is in. She's in here to even see it.
That's great.
I need ideas for a shirt or a jacket for Pat. I'm getting on that. All right, so I'm going to go through some comments from the show from Friday, my friend. I'm going to put the link up if anybody wants to chat with us. Then we're going to look at some clips. And I think we're okay on the life insurance. Anybody else have anything you want to discuss on the life insurance? My main question is right now, who found such a cool insurance company? Please get me your agent. And where? I need the agent, dude. I need the agent. That is a top-notch agent. I also want to know where this originated from, because this first came up. I would say a few days after Kylie was found.
So weird. Not weeks and a month after, but yeah.
No, I think I'd have to go back through the show because I believe you were on panel. I know you were on panel when we first discussed MeAN. She's going to get discussed again today. It's up to you guys if her new name is Megan Sue or not. I don't know. We have to.
I love it. I love Megan Sue.
Megan Sue could be.
Yeah, I think it's her new moniker.
Sassafras, do you have actual evidence that she had a life insurance policy? I do not. I do not.
Yeah, we need to find that out.
That's the reason over the weekend I said to several of you, I said, I am not going to do a live solely based on that because I don't know what it originated from. I go back to my initial statement I made after she was found and this first came up. That would be something that would have come from Lindsay, possibly the dad, grandma, grandpa, Tony, until I know who they spoke to, where this originated from. or just some association, really nothing to say about it except for, if true, I want to know who their agent is, because I've never heard of an insurance company being so cool as to say, we trust you. We don't need an official autopsy. We don't need a cause of death. We're going to go ahead and write you a check.
Just not possible. Nope.
Now, do
Not
I
that fast.
possibly has a life insurance policy on her? Yes, I do. I have other reasons for that. Do I think it's paid out yet? No, I don't. I'll say that much for now. Fair enough, JPL?
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one. Too soon.
All right, let's do some comments, girlfriend.
Okay.
All right, this just goes without saying, but I just like the way that it was phrased. Remember, if you leave me an after show comment and it is showcased on a live show, send me an email. You'll find out why. A few of you already know because you've been paying attention. Danielle says a person can't drive drunk or otherwise from the hatch of a car unless you're Stretch Armstrong. Yes, Stretch Armstrong.
I hate to laugh at that, but you're right.
Had to. I loved how she put that. Unless you're Stretch Armstrong, we keep it light around here, guys. We keep it as light as possible.
Stretch Armstrong.
From the back. We have
Not possible.
No, and we have a pretty good idea her positioning. So it couldn't happen. Unless you're Stretch Armstrong, I think people who are claiming accident forget that fact. This happens in every case. We have so much talk, theory, speculation, rumor. Nothing wrong with any of that. We just kind of want to know where the rumor came from so we can decide for ourselves. We forget little details, which are huge details, like she was in the back. Or as Jared said, it made my stomach flip, and I teared up the way Jared said it from Adventures with Purpose when he said she was in the back. She wasn't making an attempt and got, between the drivers in the console trying to get to the back seat to maybe get out. She was in the back, is what he said.
Yeah. And it's, it's sad because Nick, that was his first dive down, and seeing something like that must have just been so, I'd be in shock coming out of that water going, oh my God, I can't believe what I just saw.
I just don't think it's something you could ever get used to seeing. It takes a certain type of personality, well, to do every job.
Like an ambulance driver. Those people see, or paramedics, they see so many crazy, unbelievable things that you have to have like an iron gut to deal with that. I mean, I wouldn't be able to see even, I get sick watching people get sick. Okay. Except if it's my own child.
Yeah, it gets a little old when your family's complaining about being sick. Yeah. And then you think about, well, I mean, jobs like, we'll think about, and it's a God-given personality. Think about doctors that treat children with cancer.
Oh, God.
How could
Angels.
you? Yeah. And if you've ever worked in the medical profession, or if you're in the medical profession now, you would know that, paramedics, nurses, doctors, they have a really slick sense of humor because, like I said on here, we keep it light. Some people think it's disrespectful. I'm not going to we try to keep it as light as possible. You want to have your face almost fall off by what people say. Talk to a doctor sometime when they're just talking off the cuff. They keep it real light. You have to. They're not being disrespectful. They're not making fun of patients or anything like that. When you're dealing with sickness, tragedy, terrible stories, you have to find some sort of happy place in your mind to go.
Yeah.
Humor. It's dark humor.
Yep. You have to. Otherwise, it consumes you, and you can't do your job.
No, you would have to. You have to find that. You have to, dark humor, however you want to say it. These topics, just using this show for an example, they're depressing.
Yeah.
They are depressing. They're infuriating. They're irritating. They don't make sense.
I know. And you see these children that like Summer and Harmony, and you think it's almost too much. You hear about so many of them, and what happens? A lot of it is just pure evil of people that have done this to these children. Actual people,
Mhm.
not accidents, not, this is actually being perpetrated by people that it's horrible. It's sickening and it's sad. So when we laugh at Dawn and we laugh at Candace, it's okay because what else can you do? It's just the most horrible situation.
It is. And we don't appreciate our first responders enough. If anything, I don't like the current vibe at all because these people see horrific, horrific, horrific things. And guess what?
Yeah.
They got to go right back to work.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
But now, in the case of Placer County, I do have some issues with them. And it's fair enough to say it doesn't have to be all they're awful. We can say, well, this is awful, but this I see. I put on the community tab, I believe, what's today? Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday. You guys can go check it out, or I could put it up and quit being lazy. Human remains were found in Placer County, and I am watching this as astutely as I can. I want to see the difference in how that is handled and Kylie Rodney. I have a feeling it's going to be night and day. One from experience, two from social media, three from the exposure, and four from Sammy. And I'll tell you why.
Yep.
There is not going to be any community meeting about the human remains where they have teen to teen meetings and Sammy is spitting in the face of every adult in the room and law enforcement sitting there like dumbasses as she says, I'll basically break the law.
Yeah. With her own microphone that she brought.
Mm-hmm.
That was even more weird. I didn't even know that. And I was like, that's strange. It's like, we want to use our own mic because we don't want them to take it away, or cut us off. But they were looking at her. I'm telling you, they were looking at her, and they've got the poker face, but you could tell that they were like, oh my gosh. Now I know what that lady was talking about, Sammy talking. What's she saying? What's she doing?
What's
You
she
know?
now? That one guy said to you, what is she doing now?
Yeah, what is she doing? What is she saying? It's like, well, you're in for it. You're going to hear it.
You're gonna hear it. We all got to hear it. It's kind of it's tough for one, the gravity of the situation, but then when you yourself as an adult thinking you're sitting in that room that not one adult said, now hold on there, girlfriend. Come on. Come on. I understand you're liking the attention and that you were at a party where your friend went missing, but not okay. Not okay. Hey, Joy Catcher, what's up? I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been? Oh, Life Chaos just came in the back door too. What is up? Missed you. So yeah, that's a little jaw dropping as kind of makes you wonder if it just shocked the hell out of people or if they really thought that was okay.
Yeah, with this teen to teen thing and no cops, no that, well, that's really not helpful unless you're sharing it with the law enforcement. What are you deleting everybody's videos from that night? Any, what was there? The number 7, that there were 7 people in that group that were the facilitators, and yeah, were they just there to make sure that some of that information didn't get out and it got erased and told them what to do and not say? And
Giving instruction, I don't know.
mm-hmm,
Getting ahead of the story, trying to figure out what they know and what they could possibly tell, I don't know. I don't
mm-hmm.
know. None of it makes any sense to me.
They
Um,
don't want to get their parents in trouble either. If their parents, happen to dabble in drugs or, you know, and they don't, their parents probably have jobs that they don't want ruined over, you know, their
um,
kid possibly bringing some of their festivities with them.
Jobs,
Yeah.
reputations. Uh,
Hmm.
we had a gentleman on last week and he spoke about the tourism in the town and how this has gone away within Truckee. This is not talked about. Kylie Rodney is not a discussion. Not a discussion at your local coffee shop or anywhere. It is not talked about. Now, maybe it's just his circle of friends. I don't know. I'm just going off of what he said. A couple of other locals I've asked because I want to know what's going on there. I know what's going on where I live,
Right.
kind of sometimes. What's going on there? If we're still talking about the death of Kylie Rodney, they've got to be talking about it. They're like, no, just Megan. I guess just Megan. So, yeah, interesting that you just brought that up. Superhero Loves Akitas says, RE the keys. This goes back to the whiteboard, JPL. She said, well, actually, we can't even be sure they meant the key chain. Was or was not minus the keys. I might refer to my keychain as being my keys. Actually, I do. I do too. Great point. This is what she's talking about. Put it on the screen again. Report to Sammy. I'll never get over that. I will never, ever get over that. Download All Trails free app, which that wasn't even the right app to have, but okay, I'm not going to split hairs about that. Any sighting of Kylie, report to Sammy. Report to Sammy. Then at the bottom, it's a description of Kylie's, it says keychain. I agree with Akita.
Hmm. Yeah.
Looking for the keys.
Hmm.
They're looking for the keys.
Looking for the key. Interesting. I didn't think about that, I was thinking about that because I have a push button and I don't think about keys anymore. I think of key fobs and stuff like that, but I don't think about a key, you know what I mean? That like actual keys. So I'm like, I didn't think about that.
Well, you're fancy.
Hey, what's with the boys getting out of their car? What's with all that? Did you hear this?
Yeah, we're going to play the audio here in a second and go through that.
Okay.
It's just another layer on our cake, JPL.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. So she's saying, I don't think they're specifically looking for a keychain. There was speculation, like maybe there was a struggle over the keys and no way you're not driving, even though nobody saw her leave. Nobody could, have this story. So somehow the keychain got separated from the keys. I agree with Akita though. They're looking for the whole damn thing. This is what her keys look like. That's what I phrase it the same way. So it makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Speaking of the whiteboard, Saffron says, I want to think Sammy wrote that whiteboard. I agree. I also believe she wrote it and nobody erased it. They took a picture of it and made sure everyone saw Sammy's instructions. What does this chick have on these adults? He said the handwriting itself seems immature. Not that I have great penmanship, but why did Truckee even know that whiteboard was there? And why would they allow that to be placed there? What hold does this chick have on these adults?
I
I
don't know.
can't figure it out. I'm just saying, around me, people want to help. They step up and they're like, oh, pick me, pick me. I want to help. I'll do anything for you. I'll do anything. But if you saw that, somebody would have come unglued and been like, whose kid said
Mm-hmm.
to report a sighting of our missing person to them? The parents would have gotten drugged to hell and back for that. They'd have been like, oh no, you tell your kid that this is not playtime.
Right. Don't like it. Just stinks.
It
It
does.
just stinks.
It does, and I think that it set this on the wrong path of motion. I think that law enforcement was deterred, delayed, and behind because of things like this. I really
Yep.
do.
I do too. I really do. They've got so many shenanigans that they've had to look into, and it's slowed things down.
And it's their own fault. They're the ones with the badge. They could have easily gone and done a knock knock on Sammy's door, got a hold of her parents and said, you stop her or we will. Look, we're super busy with this trying to find Kylie Rodney, but we've got all day to charge Sammy if we need to. They could have done that easily. I don't understand why that was never done. It makes Jagger's BS look preschoolish in a way.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but I think it's Ilyanka said, why would mom know that no one saw her leave the party? Mom, were you there? Now, the only thing I can say about that is that she's saying no one saw her leave the party because nobody would tell her they saw her leave the party. I don't believe for a moment that nobody saw her leave the party. But another interesting clip, I put it on the channel this morning while I unlisted it this morning. Mom also gives a statement. Angela, we remember her, public information officer with Placer. She spoke directly to CBS 13. Sorry. I'm going to play it here in a second. And she says, Mom confirmed that Kylie was wearing the white hoodie during the party. I'm going to play it real quick. I say I am. I hit the wrong button. So you guys listen. We'll have to listen to the whole news clip. It's like 2 minutes. But Angela, you'll recognize Angela. You'll see Angela, and she'll say, they're going to talk about the white hoodie. And she'll say, Mom confirmed she had it on during the party.
Oh. Yeah, how did you know that? What was the last time she saw her?
Was she at the party?
Yeah.
Did she drop by? You said this, I think we were show 3 or 4 into the Kylie Rodney saga. And you said, some parents went by there and checked on the party. They would have had to. You're like, I would have.
Yep. Oh, totally. You got to remember, these parents are not that old. If you've got young teenagers, you can't be that, and you're going to do that. You're going to go check up on them.
Well, and I already had some comments after the news clip that I unlisted, and someone said, so Sammy knows that Kylie has a snap in the crotch bodysuit, but does not know about 2 different hoodies. That goes with that. We can revisit that. Thank you, original member Pat. You are awesome. You really are getting a jacket too. You don't even realize what's coming your way. All right.
I
Through,
love it.
I know. So let's listen to this and y'all tell me, look, I just think Angela misspoke, or no, Brooks, you're crazy. Brooks, you're reaching too much. Let's look at this.
Now, missing for 10 days, investigators say after an amazing amount of resources dedicated to the search, there is still no sign of 16-year-old Kylie Rodney.
Investigators say 50 detectives are dedicated to working tips, and they still need witnesses and video from the teen party the night she disappeared. And this afternoon, they said they will soon transition from searches to investigating leads. Here's CBS 13's Tina Cupper.
As the search for Kylie Rodney enters its 10th day, the Placer County Sheriff's Office says there is still no sign of the 16-year-old or her car. Every day is almost like starting back at square one. Public Information Officer Angela Musalam says they have no promising leads, despite the more than 1,100 tips they've received thus far. The Prosser Family Campground is the last known location that we know so far in our investigation where she was last seen. And so as a result of that, we have been heavily combing that area. Investigators say that is where her phone last pinged after midnight on August 6th. We still have searchers out there today because that's where she was last seen before her phone either turned off or the battery died. Detectives from local, state, and federal agencies continue to follow up on new leads and conduct interviews, dedicating hundreds of hours to the search. These pictures show the Washoe County Sheriff's dive team focusing their efforts in and around Prosser Lake on Saturday, August 13th.
So they were at, I forgot about this, JPL. They searched the lake after you were there. They didn't get to Prosser Lake to search it. For some reason, I thought it was the 9th or the 10th. It was actually on the 13th when the Hasty team was there.
I thought it was earlier too, but maybe not. Yeah,
more than one
I
time.
think it was. But they had search and rescue people out there. Because when I drove down that boat ramp, search and rescue van was coming up from the water, and I saw divers on the other side.
And this is at Prosser Reservoir, because the first show we did for Kylie was the 8th or the 9th. You went out there, was it the 10th or the 11th? You were in
11th.
The 11th.
The 11th. Because that was when the community meeting was.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. So she's saying, of course, they were there all week, but this was on the 13th. Okay. So now we get to where Angela says, her mom says she had the Odd Future white hoodie, pink letters on during the party.
Placer County Sheriff's Office released this photo over the weekend of a sweatshirt Kylie was wearing the night she went missing. The mother told us that she was wearing that sweatshirt during the party.
Yeah, how do you know that? Or did somebody tell you that and just you're going to believe them?
Well, she'd be crazy to say that the mother said she was wearing that hoodie during the party. Makes me wonder, did Lindsay stop by the party? Or was Kylie sending her pictures? She didn't say she saw a picture of it. She doesn't say we spoke with the mother. The mother said, yeah, that is her hoodie. Or she was wearing that hoodie when she left. She was wearing that hoodie when
I last saw her or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, she was wearing it during the party. Can somebody help me with that? She was wearing it during the party.
Unless somebody told her, and that's what she's going on. And she's saying that's what she was wearing.
Very, very, very bad at her job. She's very bad at her job for her to say the mother said she was wearing it during the party, as opposed to the mother was told she had it on at the party.
Right. It's definitely those words make a lot of very important, the way you use your words. Yeah.
I mean, if it was coming from anybody else, I would give latitude. You know, we got
Because
something.
this is
Yeah, but this is her job. Angela's
her job.
is public information officer. She has to be very leveled, very precise, and very correct about what she shares with the public. That's the reason I'm really hung on this statement. Her mother said, I'm going to play it again. She was wearing it during the party. You would only know something definitively and for a fact if you saw it yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
Unless CBS 13.
Because she would have said, I was told that she was wearing this night because I was not around. You know, I was not there to see this. So I was told that, but it's saying like she saw her with that on that night.
She said her mom said she had it on during the party. Now I go back to when mom first described what she had on, she didn't mention the hoodie. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
It's not a good place for me to go, though. You're going to have to reel me in.
Okay. I'm reeling in the fillet of fish.
You're going to have to. You're going to have to.
Because that's what it feels like. It feels like a big fillet of fish. It's not real. It's not real.
It's crazy. It's crazy. When mom is speaking in the beginning, whether it was News Nation or when she spoke with Headline News, that's all we heard about was a black bodysuit. Now, this is August. Well, after that. And this is what Angela tells us. What the hell is going on? Why did mom never mention it if she knew she had it on?
County Sheriff's Office released this photo over the weekend of a sweatshirt Kylie was wearing the night she went missing. The mother told us that she was wearing that sweatshirt during the party. And we do have video that confirmed that. It's unclear whether Kylie was wearing that sweatshirt when she was last seen, but the sheriff's office hopes this sparks someone's memory who perhaps saw Kylie wearing it at the campground. Investigators.
Well, you'd hope. You'd hope. That's big to me. That's big to me. Make it make sense.
Right.
Because someone.
And was that on her when she was found?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know, they're not telling anything. Like, she was found with it on, or it was in the car, or, if they would just tell some of those things, it would be so much easier on people. Because it's like, where was that? Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that's odd that the public information officer would say we did confirm with mom that she was wearing it during the party. Not mom said she did confirm with us that that's her sweatshirt. Not mom did confirm she had it on when she left. This during the party is different. And they don't need mom's confirmation if they can see for themselves in a video. They don't need to talk to her.
Yep.
If they can see for themselves, that's Kylie Rodney. It's one thing to ask mom, is that her sweatshirt? We're just trying to figure out where it came from. Because now when Emma, with Crime Stories Obsessed, if you guys remember, I had it on the show. I can probably find it. She found a picture of Kylie in the hoodie. And this is on Instagram. I think she's with Sammy and Kate. Some people say no. No, she's with Mags for sure. She's with Mags. They're sitting at a table. And she has that hoodie on. Mags, and I thought it was Sammy. Some people say no, it's Kate. Anyway, it looks like Sammy to me. Either way. Emma puts this out. Placer County said, where did this come from? Emma gets a hold of it. I found it on Instagram. It's from July. They were very, very curious as to where that hoodie was a big deal at the time for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It really was. So was the black one.
Mm-hmm. And an even bigger deal to me, that Miss Know-It-All report to Sammy didn't seem to mention all the wardrobe changes, just that she watched her pee.
Right. Yeah. The shoes. She's wearing white shoes. I mean, and Megan, I think, said black shoes or something. I don't know, black Vans or something like that.
You can't tell me those girls weren't watching clothing. It's one
Right.
thing if it's starting to get chilly and someone says, I'm going to put on my hoodie. That is not a big deal, but you're going to remember it one way or another. This is not mentioned by Miss Know-It-All, but the mom says she can confirm she was wearing it during the party. Now, it wouldn't go without saying that she was told that later, and she believes everything that the teens tell
Yep.
her, the teens.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She does. You saw how intimately close they were, hugging. So, yeah, she's like, I believe everything she says. Even though this wasn't my daughter's close friend, and that seems so weird. It seemed weird then, and the only thing I could think of was that their parents were friends. But I was like, God, that's so weird. I mean, I would never hold my kid's friend like that. I just wouldn't.
You know what's really weird is it's not the only case where a child has gone missing, murdered, accident, or whatever, and that some rogue person hasn't shown up and gotten into the good graces of the mom. Look at the Skylar Niece case. Sheila was not mom. I mean, Sheila got right in there with mom. But I think mom was under the understanding that they were really good friends. So I'm probably using the wrong case. It was said pretty soon. In this case, Mag's sister, she saved us all from having to worry about why this one's not friends with this one on social media. Sammy and Kylie were not friends on social media.
Yeah,
That
Mag's sister. That was it. That was good information of her to say, because it was like, look, don't buy this girl. You know that they were such close friends.
Oh, Mag's sister let it right out of the bag because somebody was in a Facebook group. I've got it around here somewhere. This is such a walk down memory lane, JPL. I can only do it with you.
Well,
So,
I can only imagine that girl saying that because she's probably pissed off that her sister is being, hussed up or told, controlled, or you know what I mean?
mhm.
Yeah.
Because someone says, do we even know that they were that good of friends? Here comes Mag's sister busting through the wall like the Kool-Aid man and says, because they weren't. That was her words. They weren't. She said, Sammy was kind of a new acquaintance to everybody, is how I read it. She said, Mags is Kylie's best friend. Is because Kylie hadn't been found yet. She said, Mags is her best friend. And I was like, out of the mouth of babes.
What has she got on Mags that Mags like, I'll just do whatever you say. I don't want to get beat up. I don't know why, But Mags just seemed like she was a puppy dog next to Sammy.
Sammy is like Malachi from Children of the Corn. She is. Samakai.
Samakai, there you go.
Samakai. She stands in front of the community. She's got law enforcement right behind her. She's got Lindsay eating out of her hand. She's got Mags believing she's the real best friend.
I know. That's what's so weird.
Oh my God. If it wasn't for Mags' sister, we'd all be like, well, I don't know. I guess they are.
They were pretty close, yeah. Because Sammy's saying it, we got really close, and then she kind of, says something else as she's trying to fix what she just said.
The corn is here.
Remember, in the coming months, we become more closer or something like that. It's like, In the past months, we've become closer. Okay, well, why are you the spokesperson for all of these teens?
Yeah. Yeah, even when she said I talked to her at 12:36, and she hears law enforcement at the press conference say phone was shut off grid 12:33. Santa Kai walks off like, huh, stupid asses. I talked to her at 12:36.
And then somebody comes out and says, well, I saw her at 1.
Mhm.
Was
Yeah.
it Elise or Ellie or Ellen or I don't know who her name was, but said, I saw her at 1.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How?
Yeah.
How?
Here, I thought you were putting Loretta Lynn on.
Not yet. We're going to go
Can
through
you believe that? Oh,
what?
she died. Loretta Lynn died today.
What?
Yeah,
The Today Show on right now. They haven't said anything about it.
I just got a thing. Yeah, stand by your man. 90 years old.
What?
Yep. Loretta.
The queen of country music. I got to do a live about that.
I mean, that's heartbreaking in itself. She had a major life.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I'm going to cry.
I
No,
know. I know. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh, no, no, no.
No, Loretta Lynn. I just had Lindsay up there. That's what I was getting ready to get to, is when she talked to News Nation. Now we got to do a whole live for Loretta Lynn. I'm just now getting over Olivia Newton-John, JPL.
I know. I'm still not over the Judds. Come on.
I'm not over Patrick Swayze. Dadgummit.
Patrick Swayze. Oh man.
Well,
Yeah.
I know what the next live's going to be about. I love Loretta Lynn.
I know. I did too. I really, really did. I mean, I don't know how anybody could just look at that woman and not think, what a inspiration.
Legend.
So what's this with Lindsay on News Nation? What was she saying? Day 6.
Yeah, it's day 6. I'm going to try to get to the part you'll have to bear with me, since I just got tragic news about Loretta Lynn. But
I know.
I really want to talk about and discuss the part where she explains why she is not involved in the search. Here we go.
To keep Kylie's story out there, the more people that see her face, hear about it, can help in the search. How are you doing tonight?
I'm tired, but I'm doing okay. Thanks. How are you?
Well, I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking about that last text message that you shared with Kylie. Tell me more about what she said.
Well, she just, it was 11:30 that night, and she said that she was going to be planning on leaving about 12:15 and heading home. And I told her to, be careful and wake me up when she got home. And she said, "Okay, Mama, I love you." And that was it.
Do you have any reason to doubt, Lindsay, that Kylie sent that message? Did it sound or seem like a text that she would normally send as you're looking back at things?
It was a text that she could send me over and over again every time she was settling on plans and figuring out, like what she was doing. She was always checking. She was always letting me know where she was, when she was leaving, where she was going next. And it was, it was her, "Hey, Mama, I'm on my way home in a little bit, so I'll see you soon." It wouldn't have been unusual for me to even get another text from her, another half hour, 40 minutes later, letting me know that she was on her way. the last little bit to our house.
So that was late Friday night, kind of into the early morning hours of Saturday. At what point did you start to worry, get concerned?
Okay, so the anchor is basically smelling what we're all still stepping in. Does it sound like a text Kylie would send? You know where she's going with that.
Mm-hmm.
No consideration, no anything. Lindsay says yes. She's gotten that text many times. That's kind of unsettling with people to know that she told her quite a bit. Not going to be home. I'm going to miss curfew. But I mean, she smooths that over a little bit, that she was very responsible in telling her where she was at all times. But you can tell with the anchor where she's going. She's already not liking how this looks. You wouldn't even ask, do you believe your daughter sent that to you or not? Or do you think it's someone else? Is basically what she's saying.
Right. Yeah.
And honestly,
And she's gotten it before.
I didn't pick up on Lindsay's speech patterns in the beginning. Remember the story I told you about the woman that was at the memorial? And when Lindsay was talking to her about the universe and stuff like that, and she was talking about how she was speaking, I didn't put it together until I heard her give the famous speech about F off and go home. I don't know what that's all about.
I don't know anything about it.
Because you didn't talk to her. You came by the dad.
Yeah, I was by the dad. I just saw the mom. I just kept watching her and just kind of observing her. And the dad just had so much anger. And you could just see he just wanted to just say so much more and just flip out on everybody. And she was just all just, rainbows, hearts, and,
And you're not the only one that said that he was seething.
yeah.
Mad. He was upset, probably still is. And she was she was in a different place. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Further along than he was. Obviously, she was at a different stage, and it was in the La La Land stage of believing all of these teens that are filling her head with disinformation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then blaming, which is crazy. I don't know about blaming. I shouldn't say that, but being so ungrateful to AWP. And not even at least say, thank God you were there to find her. Thank you. I mean, I know people that have had I've told you the story about the Golden Gate Bridge, and there's no way a parent isn't going to thank the person that found their child. It's just weird to me.
Well, I mean, it's speculated quite heavily that she had a good idea that she was in the lake and that the money wouldn't continue to come in once found. This money was for search and rescue. Remember, that's just speculation. I'm not even saying it's my opinion.
Well, that's what I heard, that the GoFundMe was for search and rescue workers. And then I find out that it's not going to them, and it wasn't I don't know where the money is now.
I don't know. It's kind of odd, too, for it to be such a highly publicized case at the time. I mean, we're talking about it here, but it's not talked about like it was at the time, that she didn't double what she was asking for. Some of these GoFundMes, I mean, somebody starts out and they're like, we need, I'm just going to use an easy number, 10 grand, for whatever. And something really pulls at the heartstrings. The next thing you know, they're sitting on a cool 100K. I mean, she got 63,000, not saying that's not a lot of money. That's a lot of money, but didn't even make her goal. And that GoFundMe stayed open well after Kylie Rodney being found. But that's what's heavily speculated about, that kind of rained on the parade to say, she was eating sushi and was told about it. I I wasn't going to buy the whole, well, nobody told me. You know, her daddy told her. You know, he told her. Adventures with Purpose made it very clear. We didn't leave her out of anything. We did not know how to get a hold of her. She acted like this was a new thing going on. She didn't know they were coming. How could she not know? If I knew, she knew. But she had what was the words that Jared used and then again Doug? Kind of a barrier around her. Well, that's the kids. That's the kids.
Well, I woke up 8 o'clock on Saturday morning and immediately realized that she had not woken me up. And so, I thought my husband was home. Maybe she checked in with him. And so I got up and I looked at the driveway and her car wasn't there. And I looked at her room and she wasn't there. And I reached for my phone and I grabbed I grabbed my phone and I looked for her location that she always shared with me. And the last update it had was from the party site about midnight. And so at that point, I reached out to her dear friend to see if she was there. And once we found out that she wasn't there,
yeah. And then that panic as a parent sets in. Police, Lindsay, not ruling out the possibility that Kylie may have been abducted, even trafficked. How much are investigators sharing with you about the tips coming in and where they're at in the search?
The law enforcement, all of the teams who have been working together with us,
law enforcement and the teens,
to find her have been they've been working, day and night. It seems I see them and so tired. They have been so transparent with us. They've been so open to keeping the communication between them and the investigation and the family just so open. Unfortunately, just none of the tips yet have led to anything definitive that's helping us.
What else stands out to you, Lindsay, about that night as you talked to her friends about the conversations that they were having, what was going on at the party? Any of those clues rising to the surface, your mother's instinct, like honing in on something particular?
I am letting the police and the teens talk to one another. I am not a trained investigator. I am not someone who has any experience with finding missing children. It's not.
Okay, right there. That bothered me then.
That bothers me.
That bothered me then. We didn't really touch on it too much at the time, JPL, because we were trying to, Kylie hadn't been found. We didn't have the weird stuff going on at the memorial with the get a hobby, call your mom. I am not trained in finding missing children. We're not talking about missing children. We're not talking about that. We're talking about your child. I'm leaving it to law enforcement and the teens.
The teens. No. I'd be out there. I don't care. I'd go to every door, every garage. No. Your instinct is your experience. That's what your experience should be doing. Using your instincts and saying, you know what, I gotta say, how did Jagger find out so early and he was zooming up there so early in the morning?
I think he's the dear friend she called.
I was wondering.
I think that's the dear friend she called when she said, I called a dear friend. I think that's the dear friend because he hightailed it, the hero he is. The most looking he did was at the parking lot at the Kentucky Fried Chicken in Reno, and we know what him and Kate were doing there. But she says she's not trained to find missing children. We're not talking about missing children generically speaking. We're talking about your child, lady. We're talking about yours. So I'm leaving it to law enforcement. Okay, I get that. And the teens. So you trust Scooby-Doo and the gang. You trust Malachi. Samakai, more
Sam
than
McKay.
own maternal instincts.
Yeah,
Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so, JPL.
it's so because this lady said that. She actually, I can't believe it came out of her mouth, and I'm thinking, what? Why wouldn't you be like this mama bear going, I don't care. I will walk the streets. I will drive wherever I have to go. I will go to every door. I will do whatever I have to, and not be listening to so many of these teens. There's just no reason to be listening to underage teens that were at a party that your daughter became missing at, and now possibly, you know what, taken out of this world without saying the word.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. So you're trusting them. I'm not talking about law enforcement, the teens. You're trusting them that didn't have the wherewithal, the common sense, or the common decency to call you when she was too messed up to even know her name. Am I correct? But
Yeah,
it's a good day to trust them?
uh-uh. No, no, no. And if they were all such good friends, I mean, I know that my kid, if at that age, if they were so messed up and something was wrong, somebody would have called me. They would have called me. And I would have gone to pick them up, not, you know, sleep in the freaking car or sleep in the campground. No, no. Not on my watch as a parent.
I'd have been wringing their necks. CPS would have been at my house going, "Did you assault a teen?"
I know. Somebody talked about a cow prod. I'm like, I would have had one and been like, you know what this thing can do to you? You better start talking.
County would have been at my house going, "I saw some marks on Samakai. Did you do that?"
You mean all the other ones too that's the mysterious marks all over her that she had to write over to try and hide? Find Kylie over an enormous bruise.
Oh, law enforcement would have known me. They would have been at my house. They would have been, or at the camper. They would have said, "Did you just, what's going on here?" But no. She's not experienced in finding missing children. No one asked her to. They asked her, we're talking about her child. At this time, when we just heard that, at that time, it was presumed that there was a bad accident, although we were leaning towards foul play. I damn sure was, and you were, especially after what you saw when you were there. A lot of people, and a mother's going to hold out hope. A mother's definitely going to hold out hope. A child knows mama's voice. So instead of going around and screaming, "Kylie, Kylie," I'm leaving it to the teens. Because I'm not experienced in finding missing children. And I also saw on this whiteboard, it says if I see anything to report it to Sammy.
I mean, you know what the whiteboard makes me think of? It makes me think of Scott Peterson. And when he wrote on a whiteboard, but his was so perfectly written and it was very creepy. But he wrote this stuff on this whiteboard, and yeah, it's like yeah, it's like they want to be in there so bad to hear everything so that they can skew it.
Oh, you went
to their advantage.
It's true. Scott Peterson did. He was doing the best he could to try to run things. Law enforcement was already onto him even before Amber Fry, and he was writing stuff on the whiteboard, kind of like Samakai Peterson. Good call, JPL.
Yeah.
And another channel did call out the GoFundMe. I think it's Squirrel Girl. She did report the GoFundMe. And so she's one of many that I know a lot of you, I don't know if you're in here right now, have emailed me GoFundMe's response from weeks back. There were people with a bad taste in their mouth about this GoFundMe days after Adventures with Purpose when they saw it was still open, and they were getting a hold of GoFundMe saying, hey, I threw $20 in the bucket. This is for search and rescue. She's been found. What's up? GoFundMe is very, very well aware of this. I don't want anyone, I'm not trying to point anyone in a direction to add any insult to injury. I'm just saying this is what's up. This is what's going on.
Well, that was what it was written for. There's GoFundMe money. If you find her, this is the reward. Well, why are they not getting it? Is she just, and why is she so against them? What is her beef with them for finding her daughter?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
Squirrel Girl has a petition. I don't tell anybody. I don't even suggest what you do. You know, you look you look within what you want to do. I'm just letting you know, if you want to sign this petition, that's where you go. She has got the goods. She is on it. She's on it.
Mm-hmm. I love this. I love how Samakai's dorm mate sleep with one eye open. She'll never have anyone's back. Selfish. So true. I'd be afraid to be her roommate, knowing what had happened this summer.
If I had saw one of my children in that TikTok video where Heart Glasses comes walking through, by the way, you can get those glasses at Five Below. I took a picture and in Discord. I'd be like, get the hell away from her. I'd be calling the school. I'd be like, my child better not be anywhere near partying with her, because she's, I don't want to hear in a week she drank out of everything my kid drank out of. No, sirree, Bob. No.
I mean, does she have immunity? Have they given this girl immunity?
Well,
that's what I'm kind of wondering.
Touch on that a little bit. We got RT backstage. He's a local there. You guys will have a lot
good
about. And I want to ask him before I play this clip and discuss the 911. That 911 was called. He might have a scanner. I don't know how he keeps up with, the local things. That someone saw lights going in the lake and that nothing was done about it. Nothing. Let's see what he has to say. How was your weekend, RT?
Fine. Good morning. Good morning, panel and everybody on chat. Nice to see you here. And
good morning, RT.
Good morning. I like that black cat. Halloween coming up. That's going to be interesting and it's going to be interesting and tricky. Listen, I want to start by saying, I have no marshmallows in the fire. My youngins, as you would say, are all grown up, and I have no agenda except to try to shed a little bit of light on some of the, I don't know, rumors or words that have been said about Truckee and the case. And I'll jump in and answer your question. I'll probably forget it. Remind me. But I did want to say one comment when you were showing that clip. Do you remember when Angela, I think you called her, I didn't know her name, the public relation officer for Placer County Sheriff's Office. Remember her? You had her on your clip, remember?
Yeah, it was just a few seconds ago.
Exactly. Yep. Do you remember the first few, and again, this is a guy's opinion, and I want to start on this, but then I'm going to go back to my truth-based knowledge. Did you remember the first few press conferences, the dress she was wearing, that purple one?
Yeah, I thought it was very pretty, and then she catches hell for not being in a polo. I'm like, what's it matter?
That's right.
Yeah. It was interesting to see her. I don't know who told her. Somebody must have. I think 3 days later, she looked like an officer. I don't want to say that dress was inappropriate, but it was interesting. Hit me on the comments 3, 2, 1 that I'm a bad guy, but it was interesting 3, 2, 1,
Is it?
go for
Can
it.
I ask you? Is it because it was tight fitting? It was form fitting, and it kind of showed her in a light of not an officer.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Could be, but there's been a lot of catering as you've been discussing to the kids, and I guess if it was somebody who was in charge's way, they'd have no officers there. Everybody be in t-shirts and shorts and wear semi-glasses. So, but it's a good point. That's fair answer for sure. But to your question, CCL, I don't know about the 911 calls at all. I have watched MeAN. We can talk about her. This has not been prearranged with pre-questions. So if you see something, and I can't really see chat, so if you see something in chat that you want to relay from some of your viewers, I'm fine. I'm sure you have enough yourself, and I'm ready to go for it.
Well, I mean, I think the since MeAN has resurfaced and she went on another channel, I can't remember the channel's name. It doesn't matter anyway. It's what MeAN said. Well, I mean, here, I'll just put the picture up. This will refresh our memory a little bit. It's got the arrow. A lot of people said, where the one kid is on his right foot leaning over, that the attention is towards these lights. Now, she's not saying this photo specifically, I don't believe, but that there was a call to the authorities for help because something was amiss, something was up, and that it was ignored. Now, you live there. This is your community, so it's on a different level that you would be answering this. How the hell would that even be possible? We've been listening to these scanners and stuff. We're revisiting this. We first heard about this 6-7 weeks ago. I mean, in my community, if I heard that there was a car going in the lake and the sheriff decided to sleep in and check on it in the morning, I'd be furious. What do you know about this, or do you? What do you think?
Well, okay, and again, this is all just my opinions from an outsider looking in, but being local, it's no different. That they would if that really is a light with a car, which it looks like it, but I don't go for that theory. But if it was, to your question, people would call 911. I don't care. We're not, that the whole parents thing, telling the kids not to speak up. We can go into that later. I don't want to go too long for on your thing here for your chat, your people on here. But it is. It would be normal to call 911, and the sheriff would respond without a doubt. Now, I've heard that sheriffs respond slower. Local PD, remember, sheriff, Nevada County or Placer, whoever it was that's responsible for that area, it'd take them a little while to get there. If it was a real car in the water, their sheriff's office is only 15 minutes away, and police, anybody could be on the scene. Law enforcement wise, as fast as possible. And to be honest, more than likely would have gone also dispatched to fire, because they would have sent some rescue people or emergency crew out there if there was a 911 call and that there was a person in the car mentioned. And I again say I don't know anything about that call, but I was a long answer. Sorry.
No, you're fine. And that's really what we want to know. You live there. Have you ever heard of a 911 call just being ignored that night? Because that scanner had other calls. So why would this call be ignored? Because I have not heard it at all. I'm going to take a leap that this call never occurred. There is nothing. They wouldn't go back and erase it. I don't even think they can.
Yeah. Well, no. Remember what the captain told me, and you heard it. He said this never happens. We get calls for searchers that are people that get lost hiking, not something like this. We don't, so obviously they didn't get a call.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm gonna, tell you, I listen to Truckee Police on Scanner and Truckee Fire all the time as a hobby, and
Mhm.
they get we
Okay,
get we
good.
get,
Okay.
yeah, but they get calls all the time, and they respond. Sometime Truckee local police might respond a little slower. I've called fire before and on something, and they've responded a little bit slower, but not ignored. And there's enough rescues up here, as you've heard other people say, especially with the tourism and the ski season. There's avalanches. There's people getting lost. There's people falling on ice. That's the winter. In the summer, there's people going in the lakes from capsized kayaks or hikers getting lost. There's all kinds of calls, and they go through a dispatcher in Nevada City, or Grass Valley, which is in Nevada County, but it's at the other end of the county, which is fine. It has nothing to do with it. They all, I can hear them from, we can hear everything up here. So they would have responded if there was a call.
There was no call. I've gone back and listened. Creators that I trust have gone back and listened because it's like,
yeah.
But I mean, there's no call. Why is she saying there's a call when you can easily go back and hear there's nobody called?
Yeah, I can't speak for her. I do want to say one thing. I never saw the Ecamel, I think that's how you pronounce his name, first a video with her or with her. But I did see the second one, the long one, the 6-hour one. And also last night there at the end of Tyler's program, she was on, and she was very much in a different. I heard that there was a lot of flack on the Tyler one, but she was pretty subdued there. And to be honest, and on the other one, she was going a mile a minute. And I think it was a good catch that she went on there. That she had an agenda. It can seem that way, but she is legit. She there, and I don't want to go on here and talk about anybody's issues at all. But I would rather not. But there's some. It's hard to say. I really don't want to go too crazy on that. But there's some medical stuff involved. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah, we don't need to go there. And I mean, my thing is, I just don't. She seems like a nice lady. I don't think she's going to make all this up and start channel hopping, because she first came on like I'd say like week 1. She called X channel. Now Little Bit said she claimed last night on another channel that she was lied to and there was not a call. That's very important to know. That's very important to know. All right, so we can
good.
off the table. She said she was lied to. I want to know who admitted to her that they lied.
Yeah.
Who said?
Yeah.
Who got a hold of her and said, "Get your ass off of YouTube. I lied to you."
Well, yes, and she is part of the of the local community that has young adults or young children or teenagers, and she has to be a little careful there. Probably, I'm not sticking up for it, but a lot of the stuff she said, for me, from setting the record straight about Truckee was very right on. One thing that came up on the second interview, the one the 6-hour one, and some of your listeners probably heard that, was there was a little bit of an exchange between the creator and her, and she was volunteering where the location of the store was, and I did a little research yesterday and actually went downtown to where I thought it was, and I don't know if anyone on here knows, and please look in chat and see if anybody does, where that store was. because I believe I found it, and I'll let you know where it is. But I can't see chat, or do you two on panel here know where it is?
No, I don't know what store she went to, and if I see something in chat, I'll let you know.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah. Okay. And what was interesting is I went down to one place that she had mentioned, and it definitely didn't look like it inside. And the guy behind the counter, I even talked to him, and that was a no-go. So she had mentioned that place, and that's what I said, okay. And I went across the street to the next one, and the fellow in there was very nice and actually kind of sent me in the right direction. And when it came about, I probably should have known all along. And I think everybody that's a local here probably knows or should know. Anyway, the location is a gas station that in a store to combine that is right near Boca, right near Highway 80. If you would go to Boca, let's say from Sacramento, you would turn right on Hirschdale, and you'd be there. The interesting thing was when I pulled in, there was a sheriff car there, Nevada County. I thought, oh, that's interesting. And when I went in,
hang on, this is important. When you were there, Nevada County, what county is said gas station at?
I believe it's in Nevada County. Truckee. Okay. Yeah, Truckee runs through Placer in Nevada, and remember, I think Nevada had taken over the case.
Okay, but law enforcement was there when you went to check it.
Yeah, and I was it was coming together. Let's just say, I thought it first interesting, and it was coming together. Then when I saw inside, there was an officer there inside, and I purchased a Diet Coke, and looked around, but immediately I saw those T-shirts. They're still there, and the flooring, everything matched the picture that you've seen on TV. Wow. Anyway, that's just something that. What's interesting is it's the cheapest gas station of our 7 gas stations in Truckee. It's a little bit out of town, but it is in Truckee, and it's on the way to Reno, and I think I personally have gone there, I think once when prices were really cheap there. We all go to Reno to buy our gas. And if she was in Reno that day, and I don't know if she was, normally she would have filled it up in Reno. Gas is $1. It's $7 a gallon here. It's over $1 cheaper in Reno. And at this place, it was $6.50. So it was a smart move. Wow. Maybe she might have forgotten to gas up in Reno if she was there. I've done it myself and forgotten. There's another place along the way, but if you Google map it, you'll in Google Maps put in gas station and look towards Boca, you'll find it there. I'm not trying to blow their cover, and I hope I don't get doxxed for that, but it wasn't in town. Basically, trying.
Everybody here. Go ahead. Cool. Nobody's going to dox you. Nobody knows who you are. All right. So I about had a heart attack on $7 a gallon. All right. So give me to catch up.
Well, okay. 709. 709. She paid $6. She paid a little less.
But let's give Brooks a minute on that one. Woo! Damn. Okay. $7 a gallon. Okay. I'd be walking like Jesus everywhere.
Unfortunately, it's too hilly here to walk. You'd have to have an e-bike and not a regular bike because that's too hard too.
Okay, let me get past that. Let's go back to the gas station. So you were in there. You mentioned the T-shirts. I don't understand what's going with the T-shirts. Did I miss something with the T-shirts?
No, nothing. Just that if there's a T-shirt rack. I don't know if you have that picture.
Okay, well, I just thought there was something significant on there. Okay, so there's a
no, it didn't say save somebody or anything at all. No.
Okay, so
anyway, like Dawn Blake or
hang
those
on.
kind of trinkets.
So, but when you were there, what was law enforcement doing? Were they just fueling up the cruiser at $7.09 a gallon, or were they looking around and talking to employees?
Well, they gas their cheaper. They gas at the CHP, which is I know they have a new CHP station here, big beautiful one, by the way, they just built, and they have their own gas there, and he wasn't gassing. I assumed that I'm going on a stretch here, but I assumed that and I hoped that maybe some information will be coming out soon, and they're kind of preparing themselves. Now, if I went back there today and he was there again, I would say he's stationed there. That is what was my thought was. My first thought, this guy's here to stop any looky-loos like myself from doing anything. When I look back at him while I was paying, I asked the clerk, who was very nice. It's a great place, by the way. No shade on her. If everything was okay, and she said yes. Someone had asked me if that if I should have did I ask her if anything about it, the sighting, and I said no. I when I saw the cop with the 9mm on his side and the badge and the big muscles, I chickened out.
But all right, so
anyway, that I only mentioned that because
I have a question. Was he just there getting gas and looking at the t-shirts?
No.
Something to eat?
No.
Was he there
no.
investigating? Was it your impression he was there maybe asking questions?
No, 100% not. Questions are over. Again, and I thought I said it, and I apologize if I didn't come through right, is I felt an impression that he was there as you let's say you have someone standing guard, kind of that if somebody, like I said, a looky-loo would come in or somebody get weird and ask questions, that he'd be there to fan off anything, or not really that. I don't want to say that, but just some presence of a cop makes a lot of difference. If I go and tell my neighbor to turn the music down, I get shot. But if I call the police, they go out there, the guy turns the music down, and I live happily ever after.
Okay, all right, gotcha. So he wasn't really there investigating. He could have just been getting.
No, not at all. They've done that, I'm sure, already. I mean, that picture went out early. I'm sure that happened when before, the first when that picture came out, they had done their job already. I was surprised to see him there, but it made me feel, and again, this is only my thoughts, that maybe something's going to come out soon, and he's there, and they're going to be at a few places around town, just so I don't know, people with their baseball bats don't come running.
Got you. Speaking of, okay, we're going to get back to, I got too curious. Forgive me. All right. So I think we can put to rest. So here are my questions. All right. So MeAN said a month ago, well over a month ago, that a call or calls, I was under the impression many calls were made because lights were going in the lake. We dismissed this quite a while ago, but it came back up, so we have to discuss it. So I guess sometime overnight, not last night, I guess it'd be the night before, somebody got a hold of MeAN. Now follow me. Somebody got a hold of her. Not last month. Not in August. Well, last month would be September. Damn, it's almost Christmas. Almost time to start defrosting the bird. So not in August, but within the last, I'm going to say 48 hours, told her they were lying to her. I don't know what live she's on right now or going to be on tonight. I hope someone in chat or the host says, who lied to you? That's very important. Who lied to you? Or if they didn't just come out being honest, Abe, saying, hey, I feel bad. I should have told you back in August so you don't look like a dipshit, but I made that whole thing up. Okay, anyway, they didn't do it in August, but the last couple of days, they got a hold of her and said, I lied to you. Or did somebody get a hold of her and say, don't talk about this anymore? I don't believe a call was made, so we can forget that. That's just my opinion. If you want to believe it. Conspiracy, I love that channel, said I did speak with her. What did she say? Was she told not to speak about the situation any longer? Or did someone come out, clear the air, got a conscience and said, no, I made that up?
It could be the Lindsay could have gotten a hold of her, or
not just
the
the call. It's not just the call that's been disputed, because no call went in. We've listened to the scanner. We last month. People are going through it again. There was no call. So besides that, it's all the other stuff she said. The 911, not the 911, the FBI interrogation. Now, come on. Who told her this?
Yeah, and I assume you're asking conspiracy tier on your comments. I just looked at that. Also, and I'll give her time to answer. She might have already, but also, this was, I want to say, we're not trained for this. I'm nervous. You can hear it in my voice, and people might think I'm trying to hide something. And she I'm sure was pretty nervous in the beginning. And again, on the second long 6-hour interview, there was a lot of stuff said, and you could tell she was nervous, and for a variety of reasons. Just think about it, what's been out there, and I do, I do agree. There's a lot of suspicion, and rightly so. Because the police and law enforcement was very quiet. But Brooke, I go back to you if you got an answer there, because I don't know.
Conspiracy. Oh, by the way, Justin just came in. Hello, Justin. Conspiracy said, so someone sent her the video I made of all her calls. Then she joined Michelle's panel because she saw her live talking about it. Okay, so I'm going to assume that that's when she came on and said that this wasn't true, that there wasn't a phone call, which we knew from the scanner there wasn't anyway. Now I'm curious as to who's feeding her this information and letting her call. We heard it in August on X channel, then it carries over to other channels saying her story again. So I'm just wondering why now they're telling her. I guess I need to speak more plain. Why are they telling her now it's not true? Why didn't they tell her in August?
Well, remember, she had said that she had been off for 3 weeks of social media, because I think on a YouTube channel or on Facebook, somebody or she got in a tiffy with somebody, and she called her a name, and they yanked her, I guess, or suspended her for a while. Now that's what she said. And again, I'm
that channel. I'm just curious.
What's that?
YouTube or that channel? Because I don't think YouTube does that.
No. I think it was Facebook. I think she said Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. She is, and that's what she referred to in her YouTube, the second YouTube interview, the long one that was a few days ago. Yeah, and I see what you have on screen there. I'm looking at a delayed.
Yeah, so this is important regarding the 911 call. All right, she said the 911 call, she was told that story from a grocery store clerk. Yeah. So I asked her about it, and she said she saw someone, got the 911 calls, so that person must have lied to her. Okay, do with that information what you want. Thank you, Conspiracy, for letting us know. All right, so we already had heard the scanner, and there was no call that came in. So we already knew no call came in. So she's saying the grocery store clerk lied to her. So we can forget about that, the 911 call. That's just didn't happen. Now, my question is, she said her daughter told her quit talking to people. Now,
her daughter's freaking out, going, "Mom, you're talking too much." And
okay, I'm down.
I think that's why she chilled last night. If anyone was listening to the two, you can compare them, and there's a lot a lot of the chill. I want to say it almost sounded quote unquote sedated, which was fine, which is good. It was. I thought it wasn't bad with Tyler. He asked, I think, the right questions. I'm not a big Tyler fan, but I'm not here to criticize him. But
No,
he
he's a
he
super
did a good job.
he's a super cool dude.
And he asked.
I have questions about. Now
Yeah.
I have questions about the 911. I'm not. Why do I keep saying 911? The FBI interrogation. None in no world does it make sense. So conspiracy said basically everything was hearsay. Well, we know how that goes. UFC, I see you backstage. Turn your camera off, please. Listen to me singing. Let's see what UFC has to say. We lost JPL. Maybe she'll bounce back in. Hello, UFC. What are you making of all
What's
this?
up, mamas? I don't believe the lady at all. I mean, look, we're 3 months into or 2 months in the investigation, right? A month and a half, and you haven't been on YouTube in 5 weeks. What is the purpose of hopping on now and telling your story? That's my point. You're not having the story down to the T at least. She's made multiple statements that were false, multiple times. I don't feel bad for someone. If you're that nervous, don't come on camera during a murder investigation and throw out lies when you're obviously involved in this somehow. You are involved because you know information that people do not know. You know what I'm saying? And now you're coming out being involved and throwing out information because you're nervous. People are saying you're contradicting yourself throughout the whole video, saying you don't know Tony Dodge, but then you knew Tony Dodge before the fact. There's points like that. It makes you look bad. There's got to be some purpose of her coming on camera. That's my point. No one just hops on here and puts themselves in the center of a murder investigation. And I say murder because it was a murder.
Well,
you know what I'm saying, Crime? That's where I'm at on this. Like, it doesn't make any sense for you to do an 8-hour interview for free. To put yourself, you've seen what happened to Tony. You've seen what happened to Icamo. You've seen what happened to Xaname. Unless you're an attention-seeking person, it doesn't make any sense to me because you didn't make any sense coming on here. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing to her.
And it's dangerous because if Samakai or Jagman was my kid and somebody was going on any channel, I don't care who it is, I don't care if it's Chris McDonough, and they were saying my child had been interrogated by the FB freaking I for 8 hours, I would be furious.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make this throw this girl on the bus or throw this guys in there like, you know, I know you might know her. And I understand that it's a tough situation, but usually when an adult comes forward about information at this point in an investigation, they're either trying to help somebody else that threw their name in this big ass pile, or they're putting herself out there to change the narrative. I mean, there's no other point. If she wanted to get this out there from the beginning, she did it on Ikamel's channel once. She would have been out there every day trying to get her point out. Not wait this long. You know, I just don't see the principle for an 8-hour live explaining things that you're not 100% on, but you're supposed to be the reliable source. Now I'm questioning myself, was she the anonymous witness giving all these things out now? You understand? That's where I'm going with this. Because someone was writing all these little things, right? Anonymous witness the last couple of weeks, right? Those 2 witnesses that came forward with statements that people are throwing up on their lives. Was she one of the people now? Now I got to ask myself that because, I mean, it's just, it's not logical for someone to do that, especially an adult. I can see a 17-year-old kid, you know, and putting themselves in a case, but an adult with a family that there's already been death threats on this case, it just doesn't make sense, man. You know?
Well, and what I don't understand is it came out in August. We talked about it on this channel. We said, no, there was no call. Move, you know, that's crazy. Just move along. Because, I mean, and I don't want to hear that scanner again. God, it hurts my ears. I'm not going to listen to it again. RT, he has the scanner going at his house all the time. He listens to it just for a hobby. He would have remembered between August 5th and October, what's today, the 4th? That, hey, somebody was calling for lights going in the lake. That call never happened. So it comes out in August. People were like, okay, yeah, whatever, move along. But then it's doubled down. And now it's, I was lied to. I'm not picking on the lady. I'm trying to make sense of this. I really am. But her daughter told her to quit talking. That I 100% believe. Mom, I got to go to school. Mom, these are my friends. Mom, hush.
Yeah, I don't discredit her. Like I said, I just think that, like I said, she she got hella information from the kids and stuff, and she threw it all together. She knows, a little bit, but then some of the stuff she doesn't, and she kind of put on a theory because she did contradict herself multiple times, guys. I have it recorded, and you can go back into multiple streams. They got them side by side, and it's not that. It's a lot of pressure talking about a murder. I mean, I just can't believe she would do it and put her kid at jeopardy too, because all these kids are watching these videos. There's just a lot of things in my mind being an adult. I'm 31, and I don't feel like I'm an adult. But if I had kids that are 16, 17 in high school and I could jeopardize my kids at all too, I would not be showing my face online, especially throwing stories out where you got weird people. Not even if you're telling truth or lies, you got people here that'll manipulate the videos to make it seem like you're lying too, even if you weren't. So that puts you in a situation where your family's at risk now because you got crazy people online. Like, I mean, I don't want to say names, but look at these people. There's people out here that'll do crazy things. So that's where I'm at, guys, on the situation. I'm not calling her fully a liar, but I think it's very suspicious for her to come out at this point in time and try to do an 8-hour interview online.
Well, it's a bad look. It's a bad look, especially since it already came out in August. Everybody collectively rolled their eyes, went through it and said, nah. And then we come back and we tell the story again, only it's gotten a little more Hollywood, okay? It's a little more jaw-dropping, and now we hear I must have been lied to.
What is it? Comment said, let's talk about who called Jagger. What do you mean about that? Who called Jagger? I don't know what you're talking about. That are you guys talking about on Saturday morning? Is that what we're talking about? Saturday morning, Jagger? At 8 in the morning? I don't know who called him. I can't tell you that.
Are you asking me?
I don't know. The comments asked that. They said, what? Let's talk about at UFC. Let's talk about who called Jagger.
Well, we were going back through the News Nation clip when, of course, we've always wondered who got a hold of Jagger, how he gets there.
That's what I've been saying the whole time, because they met at 9 o'clock at Starbucks. They didn't know she was missing. They were going to see if she met her there, but Jagger left his house at 8 in the morning.
So, but Lindsay, she's on News Nation. Now, we watched a clip from August 8th, I think it was, and she says, I called a dear friend. Well, the only assumption we can make, since all the other friends were there, was Jagman.
That's the only person, yeah. I agree. 100%.
Well, I would jump into UFC there, and I do agree. It does look pretty suspicious, and I'm not trying to protect her, but some of the things, and again, I'm more. What you're saying is pretty good on why someone would jump out of the woodwork right now. You could ask the same of me. I really have nothing in the game, but I think a lot of the things she said were correct, and that's why I brought up the store thing, because I could debunk that within 24 hours with just being a local. It is weird. You wouldn't want your kids exposed to that if and your friends and neighbors. But you know what? Who knows? You know what? We all get on here sometimes. Some people get on here and get weird. Not on this channel, but after a few beers, you start talking, or a glass of wine. And I think one thing, let me say one thing, and I'm sorry, I see in some comments, people, I think you even wrote, this dude sounds weird. I hope I don't, but it is early over here when I got on here, and there was a reason that people are a little bit afraid, and she obviously wasn't, but I'm here to try to set the record straight on what Truckee really is. I'm not for the Chamber of Commerce. I don't even shop in Truckee. Nobody no local does. We don't even buy gas here. We do it in Reno. There's a Costco. You can get gas cheap. You can get your water cheap. A 40 pack for $2.99 and go home with some toilet paper in the trunk. But my point is, she might have felt obligated, kind of like I do, to set the record straight on a few things. Now, that she embellished, she probably could have. That she came on out of nowhere again, like you mentioned, that's suspect for sure. Back to you.
All right, man. I just want to say I don't think she's a suspect at all. And I agree with you what you're saying, and like you're saying, she might have came on to say a few things, got a couple glasses of wine in her, and you know how it goes. You think everybody's your best friend. You know what I'm saying? I understand that 110%. And Truckee, I lived in Kings Beach for a while. Truckee's beautiful. So is Kings Beach. I mean, it's damn near the same city. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with the city. It's just this case or something wrong with this case. That's all it is, man. I don't think she's a suspect in the case, man, like that either. I just think that some of her theory, not theories, her story didn't line up. But like you said, you know, you get a couple drinks in you and you're feeling the vibe, and you know, you open up a little too much, and then, you know, and stuff comes out you didn't mean or say it wrong.
And I'm not calling her a suspect. I just thought I was, and again, a lot of things can be misunderstood. And again, it's probably how I'm talking is it is suspect. It is suspect that she would come out of nowhere, as you mentioned, after 3 weeks of silence. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Yeah, not that she's okay, and not that she's a suspect. There's no way.
Well, let's just say it this way, because less is more. It's weird. It's weird to let all this time lapse and come out of nowhere and remind everybody. Let's just say it's weird.
And that's the thing. It's weird. That's the weird part. And the weirdest part is. Go ahead, buddy.
Good point. Absolutely, and you know, the creators who do the crimes things are really out there, and there's a lot of people interested, and it's quite amazing that there's people from all over interested. It seems, and I'm sure it's not that way. It seems that people are more interested outside of Truckee than, and I'm really against generalizations, but then the people in Truckee are interested. I'm sure they are, and they're talking amongst themselves. The business owners, the merchants, the town council, police staff. I'm sure it's a major cluster bomb for people here. And what I find more disheartening is that there's no pictures. You know, today everybody takes selfies and pictures, and there's been explanations for that, but I'm kind of not buying that. Also, that nobody has come forward. A kid. I mean, you would, you know, a kid would say something. There'd be a leak. There's leaks at the White House, for God's sakes, and that a parent would tell their child not to say anything. You know, certain parents might, but the majority would not. If they said they knew their kid was out there, they'd never say, "Don't say anything." It just doesn't make sense on a human basis or parent to child basis to tell your kid, well, don't say anything. I mean, for 300 kids or whatever it was at the party,
that's
for
not
20
right.
maybe.
That's not right at all. I don't care if it's 20. I don't care if it's 5. For there to be zero information. What got the story, what really fueled it before we heard from Samakai, was Lindsay saying my daughter was at a party and no one saw her leave. We all know that's not possible. Happy August brought up another red flag. You meet up at 9 a.m. So Lindsay goes to Starbucks to meet with the teens to find Kylie. According to Jagger, he was on the road at 8 a.m. Oh, he lost the link.
Yeah, see, how do we? My thing is, how do we know for a fact she called Jagger? Did someone else call Jagger? Was you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense. Her daughter went to a party, got drunk, might have slept in her car there. Was supposed to meet at Starbucks at 9, and then she called Jagger before she called the cops. It's just, to me, it's just so hard to believe, you know, especially at 8, or call him to see if he's there. I guess I don't know. Before you met with the friends at 9, you're calling Jagger to see if she drove to Napa with him. That's just.
None of it makes sense, and all we have to go off of is what they have said themselves, which we have to second guess quite a bit. She says she calls a dear friend. Okay, we're just going to guess it's Jagger because everybody else was there. All right, so she goes to Starbucks to meet with the kids, I guess, the teens, to see if Kylie's with them. Now, what the biggest red flag of August 6th, okay, is the delay, I'm being kind here, in calling the authorities. Now, that's August 6th. I haven't gotten to the rest of the week. Why would you wait to call the authorities? Okay, so you assume she's sleeping out at the campsite. Well, you go to the Starbucks. You don't go to the campsite. She said she went to Starbucks. She calls a dear friend. She goes to the Starbucks. Why did the official announcement of a missing person in Placer County, Miss Kylie Rodney, not come out till 5:47 p.m.?
Because that's when they were hiding the car right there. They had 12 to 5 p.m. to hide that car because they got caught with it. That's the reason right there. 110%.
7 p.m. You're looking at 15, 16-hour jump before the police can do anything to help you find your daughter. They can't do anything they don't know.
Every kid's already out of the area. Think about it. The first 48 hours is the most important, right? You're telling me the first 12 hours, the first, you know what I'm saying, 14, 15 hours, nobody was around? Nobody was notified? That's crazy, dude. 16-year-old girl missing.
We've all left a party. We've left work. We've left, I guess at the grocery store, unless there's something wrong with you, you don't announce your departure. But we know when we leave a social gathering of any sort, someone's going to see us leave. So we know right there, that's red flag number one.
Her mom went out to Hot August Nights till midnight or something and got home and was up at 5 a.m, noticed her daughter wasn't missing and called Jagger like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, the timeline doesn't make sense. It doesn't at all. And then the car was seen at 12 o'clock. And didn't they say family members or someone seen Kylie's car? So if they were worried about her missing at 8 a.m, they met at 9, they all talked about it. The word had to get around little ass Truckee by then, right? By 12 o'clock, 3 hours later, that the girl was missing. And they clearly seen her car. Other people came forward and said they seen her car. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could see her. Okay, if they have the relationship where she thinks that her daughter might have been drinking and that was okay with her, that maybe she rode home with another friend and slept at a friend's house, or she's camping out there. She didn't want to come home, but she didn't text her or whatever. She also says in that news clip that, basically the Life 360 was turned off that night. 12 o'clock, that goes off, according to Lindsay. 12:33, the phone is totally off grid, according to law enforcement. Okay, so you've got two major, very significant things right there. The next morning, she's not at home. That's huge. You're telling everyone no one saw her leave. Someone had to see her leave. Someone's. Many people had to see her leave.
Because, yeah, exactly. The car was seen Saturday, so she had to be seen leave. The car had to be seen leave at least.
I don't care if you hate your coworkers and you just got forced to go to the damn company Christmas party. When you leave, you're going to tell someone bye. You're going to tell someone, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll call you later. Someone is going to remember your departure. Here we are, October 4th. We're almost 2 months in. Nobody saw her leave. If there's not something foul about that, I don't know what foul is.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, we have 3 Starbucks in town. I said 7 gas stations, 4 grocery stores, and 3 Starbucks, as well as a handful of local coffee places that people from the area have made. There's at least 5 that I could mention right here, which is interesting. I'm kind of wondering which Starbucks. That's my next new thing I'm going to go try to check out. But it doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with it. It is very weird. Let's just say that. I don't want to say suspect, or I guess suspicious, that that if it was normal for her to check in so often with the mother, that in the morning or at one point during the night on a pee break, you wouldn't text her to see where she's at. That, you know what I mean? That is and if that's correct, and I don't know it is, that till 5 p.m. Things didn't get going. That's really weird.
It's really weird. And I'm thinking, she said she called a dear friend. I wouldn't be surprised. I understand I'm far reaching here. If Jagger wasn't already told something happened at that party and he wasn't well on his way en route to Truckee. That's
100% right there.
Yeah, could have been.
He had the wherewithal to call the dear friend.
And that's where I agree with Justice Fate, is in the fact that when they said they cleared Jagger, they cleared him from being at the party. I've never seen them clear him for anything after the fact. Remember, they cleared him for the disappearance of Kylie Rodney or what happened that night, or whatever happened that night. Nothing after. No one's been cleared after the fact at this point, and I don't even think they know really. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Well,
I don't. It's just theories, but someone kept saying that in the chat, and I agree. If he was on his way before, then he is the key to solving this case. That he knows what happened to her that night. If he left before the mom called, and the only one would know that is the mom, because then the timing would be off of him showing up. But did he show up to see the car was seen at 12 o'clock? Was, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, and that's just, to me, the only. How about this? How was Sammy and Tony Dodge put together? I want to ask the local that, since you know a little bit.
Yeah, but I have no idea.
No, you don't know.
No. I think she explained it. I thought on one of her.
Well, she said she didn't know Tony Dodge. She only knew Ickamil. But then she said she knew Tony. So I was trying to figure out, how would Sammy meet Tony then? If she only knew Ickamil, she recommended Ickamil. Met Tony after.
UFC, did you see Tyler's thing last night or yesterday?
No, I just watched that one, and I seen the review of her saying she didn't know him before, but then she said I did know him, but I didn't recommend him.
Because I think she explained that. Again, I'm not her attorney, but I think she explained how she got together with is it Ikamal to do that call-in. I think she explains it. So just
I just wonder how she knew all these guys before the fact. You know what I'm saying? That's just really weird to me that she knew him personally before the fact. She said,
no,
you knew him. You knew him enough to recommend a kid that was in a missing persons case after 1 week to do an interview. That's scary, dude.
That's
scary.
real.
She's putting kids out here on the internet to go do interviews, though. She admitted to that. That's my point. I'm getting deeper into this. Why would you recommend a kid to go have an interview with one of these grown men on a YouTube channel when your best friend's missing at that moment? That shouldn't. These guys. It should be with the national news. It has nothing to do with the 500 viewers on Tony Dodge's page. You know what I'm saying, bro? And she's an adult. Sammy is not. Sammy's still a kid mentally. We can see that.
Yeah,
that's
and I think
about this adult.
I might have misunderstood you or in the question. I thought you meant who set Megan up with Ekamil to have her do the first call-in, and I'm talking about Megan. But the question I think you're asking at the end there was who who put the connection between the two, Sammy and is it the Tony Dodd? I don't know if that's his name. I forgot. I forgot the channel. But the point is, she said yesterday, and I think she even said it a couple of days ago too, that she recommended she not talk to him. I think she said she
recommended him not to talk to Tony, but to talk to Ickamil. That's what was her words. But my thing is, why are you recommending? Why are you even having an 18-year-old recommend her to go on a YouTube channel? She did recommend Ickamil. She said, don't go to Tony. But it doesn't matter, either one. They're both in Truckee at the time. Do you understand that it just makes a weird, coincidence of all these people in Truckee at the same time? She's only talking to 2 people. You know what I'm saying? She stopped talking to everybody for 3 weeks. I'm just throwing a story out to you because you're local. And then before this, she pushes Sammy to go on an interview with Ickamil. What Sammy messed up and went with Tony, supposedly. That's what I got from her. But why are we pushing an 18-year-old that's, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of a missing kids case to do anything? It's just her whole little thing. Get together is weird to me, man. And I don't know how to put it together, X's and O's, because if a kid was missing, I wouldn't have any of the kids doing interviews with YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? We'd be out looking. That wouldn't be my main focus, I don't know. It's just, to me, it's weird.
Sleuthy asked him point blank. She said, how did you get Sammy on your channel? Now, supposedly at the very beginning of that video, and I can't catch it, and I've watched it several times, he says something sort of, I don't know if it's kind of under his breath or what. Tony Dodge says, I followed you around, meaning Sammy. Now, I don't know. I've got to go listen to it again and try to find it and try to catch it. But when Sleuthy asked him point blank, she's on his panel, he said he's tired of answering the question. What do you mean? Well, I'm not tired of hearing it because I've never heard you say it.
And that's exactly my point. This is you guys say it's a rabbit hole. It is, though. It's everybody's connected to this case, but this lady refer a girl that's looking for a missing kid to do a YouTube video instead of looking for the girl that's missing. That's my whole point. Let's get down to X's and O's. She said she referred him to go on a YouTube channel to talk, Sammy to go talk on Akemo's channel, knowing this could probably hurt her. The only adult in this case that's doing that is this lady, MeAN. She, you know what I'm saying? She admitted to pushing Sammy to go do an interview. Why is an adult referring kids to go do an interview? I say kid because Sammy's a kid. And as a 30, 40-year-old adult, you know 18-year-old is not. You shouldn't be speaking about an active case on YouTube, especially when the kid's still missing. That's my point. And
I thought that was odd, and that Sammy would take her direction if this is how it went down. We have a lot of in this, and that we hear something so crazy as Sammy and Jagger interrogated by the FBI. So you're telling me Placer County doesn't know how to ask questions? So this 8-hour interview by FBI, and then Sammy's got the balls of a burglar to address the community and say, no matter what you tell me, I'll go to jail to lie for you. So obviously that FBI interrogation didn't teach her anything. That didn't happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you know, Brooke, I have to think, you know, and hope that that she definitely got interviewed by the FBI or some authorities. Let's be honest, she had to be. Whether it was 8 hours between the two or 8 hours per person, which is ridiculous. Well, it might be though. It's not so ridiculous in this case. I think they've talked to her, and again, law enforcement might know more than we do here. Again, we're speculating with good reason, but I think she did get interviewed by the FBI. I mean, I'm sure many people did. Let's not kid ourselves. Or some law enforcement agency. I think in the beginning, and I'm sorry to continue this here without getting interruption, but real quick, I think in the beginning, as you played in your video this morning, the mother, it was desperate. People were freaking out on her side. You know, I mean, you lose your daughter, your daughter's missing. We had Placer County, Nevada County, Truckee Police, FBI. They said 20 agencies. They even had I think TSA or the border people, because I think she just came back from Mexico on a vacation allegedly, and met somebody down there, and I think that's why that was brought up.
Well, and that's one thing I don't do here. I try my best. It's hard sometimes because there's so much going on, and I can't believe all this got blown up just over the last couple of days. We don't really need to get sucked into rumors and all that stuff. You know, it might be interesting to go back and forth in Discord, but we're doing a live here. You know, this is a public YouTube live. Anyone can hear. They might pop in for 2 seconds and not listen to the whole show and run somewhere and say, oh, it's true. So we have to be very careful. That's the reason I'm saying I don't think this happened. And I agree with you 100%. Yes, someone obviously would have had to have talked to all the teens, not just Sammy and Jagger. That we would have a big, big problem in America if nobody asked them what the hell was going on. Yeah.
And I think that's interesting that Sammy took the forefront. You can theorize as much as you want there, and there's and I support it. No problem with that. I think as was mentioned with me in the public spokesperson, they were trying to get, I've never seen it happen before, and UFC, if you have, let me know, that they'd let a teen go out there and do something like that, maybe on a smaller scale.
No, 100% no. I can tell you from personal experience, I got arrested for accessory to murder after the fact. I was at a party at 18 years old. Guys came in the party and shot at the party in San Francisco. And I got arrested the next day. I had nothing to do with it. I wouldn't talk. So I'm befunded by this whole case. Like, I'm befuddled. I'm like, dude, I got arrested and went to jail for 20 days on $500,000 bill. And they ended up dropping the charges. I had nothing to do with it. I just wouldn't talk. But these teens are getting let go and going to college and stuff and hanging out. I'm like, dude, 2009, I got arrested for nothing. Like 10 people did. They held everybody for after the fact for not talking, for accessory to murder. because we wouldn't tell them what happened, and we were at the party. So this whole case is, and look, and my uncle's a head detective for the county next to us. I live in Alameda County. That's where the cops, where they had the boat from, Alameda County Sheriff's. That's where I'm from. So my uncle is the head detective in Tracy, California, which is the next county over. You know what I'm saying? So don't tell me law enforcement gets you off. He tried. He's like, he's not a risk. So this whole case just shakes my mind. Like, they're letting everybody run free unless they really know the culprits and they're just building their case. That's all I can say, because when they didn't know in our case, they took everybody to jail. Everybody, until they found out what happened. And I'm talking 10, 11 people were sitting in jail for accessory to murder. So this is confusing to me, unless they already ruled it an accident or they know who did it. That's from personal experience. You know what I'm saying? And I'm related to law enforcement, a lot of them.
No, it's a good point. It's a very good point.
Well, I have another question for you, RT. Okay. It's the law, not just in Placer, I'm assuming, but you guys correct me if I'm wrong. We have a similar law here too. Newly licensed driver, 16 especially. I don't mean if you're 40 and you just got it. 16. You're not supposed to be out driving at midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. How heavily looked at is said law? Because it didn't seem to be a cause of concern for Lindsay that Kylie was breaking the curfew. Do you hear anything about that they gave a ticket to a teen, made their parents come pick them up because they were out past the curfew?
That's a good question. And you're right with the curfew, with the 16. My answer to that is, okay, a lot of things, and normally I would say, first of all, many police might stop you, not just here, but just think about it, and we're talking about here, and give you a warning. In the old days, I'd be happy to get a warning. That would be the best thing in the world, and then drive on. And a lot of the stuff is given warnings. It's partially due to a large amount of tourists. And listen, Truckee was conservative, very, very, very backward. Just 10, 15, 20 years ago, you'd get that ticket. You'd get that ticket for speeding. You might get a warning here. I hear all the time, we're issuing a warning. And it could be that she wasn't concerned, that she could make that extra hour, that she at least might not have been seen by any law enforcement driving, or that she would have just been reprimanded, and it would go on from there. That's my answer. Does that make sense?
You would just get a warning. So now you said, as a hobby, you listen to the scanner all the time, quite often.
Yeah, but listen, I not all the time, but if I said that, not at 12:30 at night, okay?
Oh, no, I don't mean that. But I mean, let's say you're listening to the scanner, and you have you ever heard on your scanner a warning or a ticket for a teenager driving past the curfew?
No.
Okay.
And again,
the law is ignored. The law is ignored.
Well, it's not enforced 100%. Let's just say that. And again, I'm not listening at 12:30 at night when if there was a 911 call, I would have never heard it. I don't even have it on right now. But and at 11 o'clock at night, I'm pretty much not hearing those calls either. Where you're asking specifically, and rightly so, is if I've ever heard anything for a youth not getting a warning, or the police code, which there is one for a child, a minor driving after curfew. So personally, I can say I've never heard one, but I would say the town law enforcement would probably let that happen once in a while. This is a hard way to say it.
Well, you're saying it's not strictly enforced, and it makes sense because when we spoke before, you said it's a tourist town. So if the Smith family comes in from a place where it's not a curfew and they're not thinking about it, you don't want their kid getting in trouble for driving after curfew when they're just there visiting. Is that safe to say that it's probably not really looked at because it's a tourist town?
Well, yeah, yes, that's correct. And you know, also and again, before this case, as actually Megan stated, I think last night and the night before, she had never even heard of the Lost Lodge. Now I've talked to a few locals about it. A couple people in the construction business or have businesses have heard of it. They're suppliers. I'd never heard of that darn place before, and I'm sure law enforcement has. And if someone, let's say in this case not, but it would say, oh, they would check the license. 2 and 2 equals 4, or 1 and 1 equals 2, and they would say, oh, this is the mayor's daughter. We're going to let her go. Look what I don't know if you followed it out here. UFC probably has, but look at Pelosi and her husband getting the DUI in Napa, and he showed the card and got a pass.
Yeah, he got in trouble after, though. Fuck Nancy Pelosi. I don't want to get into politics. Sorry.
Yeah, we're not doing any politics as far as the
No,
law.
I've seen that though. I know what he means. He's saying that he got away. He pulled the card on it pretty much, but he got in trouble after, didn't he, sir?
Mhm.
I know what he means. He's saying that he got away. He pulled the card on it pretty much, but he got in trouble after.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I'm just giving that as an example of if. Yeah, sorry, I got a different thing on here. I got two computers going. So if you know, it was a business owner mentioned a name, or they put 2 and 2 together, they might have given her a pass, and business owners might know that.
So it's just safe to say that this, like you said, the curfew is not strictly enforced, because that was one thing when I heard about the curfew, I thought, well, what parent would be like, oh, okay, you're missing curfew or whatever. I mean, her curfew to be home, okay, from what I'm understanding, her curfew to be home was 11 p.m. That's after the law. The law's curfew is 10 p.m. You're not to be driving unless you
Right.
are someone 25, licensed driver, you know, but you out driving by yourself, that was already a problem. But if it's not enforced, it's not enforced. It would be enforced in my home. It would be enforced in my home. I can tell you that right now. Even if they let it slide by, we have to have we can't turn kids out into the world with no rules and boundaries. There has to be a respect.
I totally agree with you, crime lines. And see, that's the difference between me and my girlfriend right now. She said she has 3 kids, and their kids will go out till 10. I'll text, I'll be at home at 11:30. I'm like, no, you know, I'm like, you need to get home. But she allows it. So I can see people, especially in the country where they all know each other, you know, I can see it being a little more relaxed, because usually, you know, it's everybody you know, and it's not no new people around you and stuff. I can see it happening, but doesn't mean it's right morally. No way. My theory is nothing good happens after 10:30 at night. That's period.
I'm asleep, dude. I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't even know. Sleep. Leopard Joy, I stand corrected. She said it's 11. It's 11 p.m. So that's the curfew. So if you are if you are underneath that law, it's after 11 o'clock. So right there, it's not heavily enforced. Lindsay's not worried about it for whatever reason. And that's just kind of par for the course. That's how it is. This wasn't supposed to turn into a parenting lesson. Everyone's different. But that's what it is. So you brought up you had never heard of the Lost Trail Lodge and you live there, right, RT?
That's right. That's right. But I think a lot of people haven't. But people in the business might.
Oh, I'm sure. But I mean, you would have no reason to. You don't.
No.
You don't
Listen,
shit eat. You know, you don't vacation where you live.
No, exactly. I don't go there people from UFC's area there, Bay Area, would come up there for some reason, as far as I understand it, or people would go out there to get out in nature, do their thing. Don't ask me. It seems awfully isolated, and but go ahead with your question if you had one.
Oh no, it's just I happened to come across it. I don't know if it was my days are running together. They had a reporter from the LA Times in 2019. I put it in the Facebook group. I know you don't do Facebook. I'll send it to you. Went and stayed at the Lost Trails Lodge in 2019. And the review wasn't very good, really, from what I'm reading. I may have to read through it again. Just popped in my head.
Well, yeah, I can't say one way or the other there. But what you're talking about earlier, I wanted to just mention before I forget, is parenting, as everybody on here knows, is the hardest thing in the world to do for a human being. There's different forms of parenting. There's the helicopter parent. In this case, there's a lot, and I'm not blaming naming names, but there is a lot of permissive parenting. I call it submarine parenting, where they pretty much let the kids do what they want and rule. And there's a lot of truth to that up here. You guys are doing it the real way. And I wrote it down, but I forgot what it was. The right way is you need some authoritarianism in there. Because I think it's called authoritarian parenting, because otherwise things like this can happen. I mean, I do see it every day where kids, let's just say minorly, break the law, and it just seems that they're just used to it. I'm going to say something stupid here, but if you don't put up a fence, people are going to come in your yard. Okay, if you want people to come in your yard, that's fine. But if you have a fence, that's the only way to keep people out.
Well, and I think it's safe to say nobody in this circle, I'm not talking about the community, I'm not talking about the town, I'm talking about this clique that we're talking about, the teens, yeah, and their parents have not learned a lesson. This is the way they live, and that's all there is to it. I mean, it's in every town that you have the people that are above the law. They're going to do whatever they want to do. Their kids are their friends, and that's all there is to it.
But don't you, crime? What do you think? But look, we have the inner cities, though, what the kids are doing right now, they're looting stores and shit. So, I mean, just in the theory, some of those parents probably think, oh, well, at least my kids aren't doing that. They're just out drinking at night. You know what I'm saying? I can see a lot of mindset like that. Oh, we're way better than those people in the, San Francisco. Look what they're doing in their city, or LA. They're looting. They got 17, 16-year-olds breaking into the buildings and taking all the stuff out. So, I mean, I can see them using that as a weighing factor, which they shouldn't. But look, my kids are just drinking at the park with friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And making it a reason why it's correct, because I mean, look at the other teens in the world. I mean, it's not a reason, but snobby people do snobby things. ART, do you know the on Main Street, the little cafe right there on the corner off Main Street, near the bus station? Yeah,
you mean it's on Donner Pass Road,
where the bus station's at, right there across the street?
Yeah.
Well, they got the ghost pepper wings. Those are bomb, dude. Those are fucking bomb.
Well, see, I'm glad that you're using downtown. We have to pay to park here in Truckee. I don't know where everybody's listening from, but the locals kind of stay away because, and not just that the prices are high. If you have good food, that's a reason to go there, without a doubt. And there's a lot of places down there, and I wasn't sure which one you meant, but good for you. But I forgot what to say. Go ahead, keep going. You guys are doing great.
Oh no, I think we got to that. I mean, I think we all know that it's not cool to let your kids make the rules. We don't let the inmates run the asylum. We went through, that the 911 call obviously wasn't made. I mean, she's come out now and she said she was lied to. It's still a lot of all to do about nothing, which makes it even more frustrating, especially since it was already talked about in August. So she's cleared that up. I mean, that's good. I mean, I think we got through a lot of stuff today and revisited some things that needed a reminder on big time.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama in recent weeks. Since that statement was made, honor and silence, and I did go to that memorial, and I don't know if we've talked about that before, but forget it. I think that turned a lot of people off, even locally. Her immediate group of people, I don't want to say groupies, understood or understand whatever that means. But I think on YouTube, and including myself, she's grieving. She's the mother. There's a lot of importance there. I understand that 100%. But it really is an unusual way, because in the beginning she said, she asked for, like we said, 20 agencies, YouTube, anybody, help me find my daughter. And then all of a sudden it's radio silence. That was a weird thing to say. That's for sure.
It can't make you the most popular person in town when you get the community, as she says, coming to your aid and your assistance, parting with their hard-earned money, however it's done, and then being told very crassly and crudely, just go away. That's
right.
Not a good look for anybody. That's not a good look for anybody. It doesn't look very like she was lecturing about kindness. It's not very kind not to thank the volunteers, the men that risk their lives pulling your daughter out of the lake. That's not very kind.
Yeah, and not even accept it and be rude to them. And then it's like you wanted this to be more lucrative. I don't know. That's totally weird to me, Crime. Same thing. I'm like, and then after you want everybody to forget about it. But while it was beneficial to somebody, for some reason it was beneficial while she was missing, it was just more important for everybody to keep watching the case and be on it. But the day she was found, she wanted everybody to forget it, and she was mad at the people that found them.
I do think by that statement, and this is what I was trying to get to, is I think she actually, in recent days, you've seen the creators, the YouTubers, actually kind of internally turn against each other. There's been and you, Crime, know what I'm talking about. It kind of has worked into people going against different channels, if you know what I mean. I might be wrong.
Well, you're wrong that I know what's going on, because I stay in my lane. You guys keep me abreast of what's going on, and I don't know who's who. I'm not the popular kid at the table, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I don't have a problem with anybody, and I mean, and if they have a problem with me, I wouldn't know. To be quite honest, I wouldn't know. We just do our thing here. Everybody here is cool. We get some stragglers, every now and then come in and they think that they're going to, get us upset. We don't. We're cool. We're fine. We move along. We're just, I like to stick to the facts of the case and try to get through what we know. And we sprinkle in our theories and speculation, like who's dear friend? Dear friend, I'm going to assume is Jagger. So those are basically about as much of a heated conversation as you're going to get around here, because the other stuff, that's a big thing one day and 2 days later is forgotten. So we don't really have the energy for that.
Good. No, you guys are stronger. Good. You're stronger than I am. I don't know how much longer you want to go, but if you had any questions from the audience or from your chat that you want me to answer, I'd gladly do it if you want to take a quick look at it. But I'm here for you.
Okay. Well, actually, I think for this show, I think we're doing pretty good, because I have an appointment I have to get ready for. Oh, yeah. Nature Babe says she does. What's your question, Nature Babe?
And again, you have to put it on the screen because I can't see it. Or you could just repeat it.
She'll type it out here in a second.
No problem. I just want to make sure people don't think, and I've used these words before, that we're a town of walking zombies or occult worshippers or cult worshippers. It's really there's a lot of weird speculation out there. If something happened, at UFC, I'm.
Hey, there's a question for you.
Okay, and I respect your opinion on the case 100%. Don't worry, but I'm thinking an accident gone with circumstances, and that's me, just personally. Go ahead.
Hey, I can totally see that, but I'm gonna let you go and answer the question. I can totally see that, but there's something after the fact that plays a factor in this case. The car don't end up in the water and seen the next day. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead and answer that question, because I know people are asking.
Yeah. No, you got every right to thinking that. Don't get me wrong. It's been pretty shady with the with how it's been handled up here, without a doubt, 100%. There's people to blame. Okay, I'm going to answer your question so you can get going.
No, quick. The first question was, are Sammy's attorneys, are they not her attorneys that she's using, but her parents, are they attorneys in the town? Had you heard of them before?
No, you know what? I have my own attorney, but not for that, for them. I don't know. I've only heard what's been on here, as one is or is retired and the other is a PI. I didn't even know we had PIs up here. Again,
Okay.
I might be stupid.
And Nature Babe says, I just want to know if Lindsay's friend group was always closed out to the rest of the community.
Closed. I don't understand closed out, but when you have a place out in the middle of nowhere, you're kind of closed off from the rest of the community. I don't, and I don't know what Nature Babe's intention with closed out. Maybe she meant off, but to be closed out, no, there are a lot, as been mentioned from previous people up here and not up here, that there is a very progressive vibe up here, as UFC will know that it's like Berkeley moved up here, and he'll know what I mean when I say that. Is we have
100%. I was just in Kings Beach for a couple of months. Damn, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Everything's self-owned out there. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? What comes in is distributed to. It's just all within you guys. You know what I'm saying? And I don't fit in. I knew that. I knew that right when I was there. I could feel it, but they're not bad people. They're not mean. They're not rude. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like that. I didn't feel pushed out or nothing.
No, and where in the old days there would be a lot of fishing stores, there's more yoga studios and healing studios. Go ahead,
different strokes for different folks. It's a beautiful area. I don't think anyone is saying that the whole place is just crazy town. We're basically looking at something that definitely could have been prevented one way or another.
Yeah, I think so too. And what I meant to say, and the last thing, I know I'm stretching it, is with different creators and drama, is some creators are getting this stuff wrong. I only say this because it's so hard to get in sometimes to their chats because they're so big. But I mean, I think Tyler's still under the influence under the impression, that the rivers flow towards Lake Tahoe from here, and I've heard him say that twice, and I tried to correct him, and they don't. They go the other way. All this water goes to Reno from up here, from the mountains of snow melt. It all goes down that way. And yesterday, Zav Girl was talking about the car having a moonroof, but she brought up a model. She brought up, you can Google everything, your net worth, and somebody said Kylie's net worth was $400,000 to $500,000. I Googled myself. My net worth is $5,000. Okay, so what the heck? That a lot of that stuff's kind of baloney. But
welcome to the internet, my friend. Welcome to the internet. And if you can't get someone's attention in chat or something like that, chats move fast. Just send them an email later. If they still continue with that narrative, move to another channel and say, forget it. It's not worth your time. Because that car top did not look like a moonroof, and to be honest, that style, there's not one available for it. She brought up a part list of that, and not criticizing her, but this is how misinformation can go around, not just in chat, which is fine. We know nothing, but also push through creators, and also there's some agendas. Remember, as we started off, and this is all full circle this and end it. From my side, as with the public relations officer wearing that dress and then changing to uniform, I think she was a former local Sacramento newscaster, a reporter, and that happens a lot of times that they get jobs in PR, and that's fine. But remember, a lot of these things that have been put on there was by Inside Edition. This stuff they make money off this stuff. I'm not saying YouTube, but I don't criticize you guys because they're doing it on TV through sponsors. Look at PBS. We all pay our taxes
to sponsor PBS. And do you think they're going to say anything negative against the government? Not when they're footing the bill. And a lot of the TV goes like that too. And I think some creators are not making money, but there's some drama induced for drama.
That's with every case. You're going to have that. That's with every case, and that's how they choose to do it. I don't choose to do that here, and I want to know the truth. So if someone in chat says, no, Brooks, you're wrong, it's actually this, I grab the comment, I put it up, and I'm like, I stand corrected. It's okay for me to be wrong. It's okay. Trust me.
Can I ask RT something?
Sure.
Yeah.
RT, so you know MeAN personally?
No, I know where she lives. I know the neighborhood. I've never met her, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was
No.
going to ask a question, but no, never mind. If you don't know her personally, then because I was going to ask you that if she ever met Tony Dodge when he was in Truckee.
No.
Because the only reason I thought she did, because when she said, when she asked, because if you knew her kind of, when they asked her, she said clearly, she said, I didn't know Tony till after. Then she said, I did, but I told her not to go to Tony, to go to Icamil after I talked to Tony. And Tony was in Truckee. So I'm on the sense that they met, and then she didn't like Tony really, so she went to Icamil. You know what I'm saying? I would want to know if she did know Tony, how was he and shit, because obviously he was in Truckee during that time. You know, we all know that.
Yeah, I agree, and I couldn't. But Cece, one last thing is, in nobody's defense, but I think she was turned off because there was a lot of comments on the first, not the second 6-hour one from I think it's Michelle website or YouTube channel. That comments can turn people off and have them not talk. And I think it's better in this case for at least another little while if she would be encouraged to talk, because it'd be interesting to hear her story and hear her inconsistencies, if there are any. And the more she talks, the more she's going to step on her foot, if that's the case.
Well, I think she already has at this point. I mean, at this point, she's already recognized that. She already recognized that she knew Tony. She already recognized she knew Icamil. They were both in Truckee during that time. She already recognized she admitted to saying she kind of guided Sammy to have an interview with Icamil while they were in Truckee, while him and Tony were in Truckee. So she kind of already indicted that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't even want to hear it change now. I've already heard enough where it's like, to me, it's all the other stuff we keep hearing coming out. You know, every other week we had anonymous witnesses come out 2 weeks ago. You know, to me, it's nonsense unless she's telling the truth and just not making sense. She really knew the people, but I really don't care. To me, I'm just waiting for LE to come out next couple of weeks, and whatever they come out with, we're gonna have to stick with it. That's how it is.
That's exactly. We may not be happy about it, and we're going to talk about it if we don't like how it comes out, because we see all these red flags. We certainly will. And then, of course, we're going to have to, deal with it from there. And if this woman says it turns out she was lied to, so be it. That's what she's saying now. She was lied to, and that's pretty much it with that. I mean, I wouldn't encourage her to keep talking and stirring the pot, especially when her own daughter doesn't want her to. Her own daughter's like, quit talking. Don't talk anymore. She said she was lied to. That's pretty much it. Now, if Sammy wants to, go back on her story, I'm all ears, because I think she has a lot more she could either lie to us about or clear up. But I hate to leave good company, guys, but I have to get to an appointment. I am so sorry I didn't time this right, but I will be back tomorrow morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning.
Thanks, Crime. I appreciate you. RT, man, thanks for having me. Everybody hit that like button. I'm out of here. Thank you, Crime.
Bye.
Yeah, and it's been a pleasure, CCL, for the invitation, for the extended talk, and thanks for putting up with me.
Hey, no problem. Always a pleasure, my friend. I'll send you that article later this afternoon, okay?
Okay, you have a good day.
You too. Hey, guys, like I said, sorry, I hate to leave good company. Always a pleasure having UFC up. He cracks me up as well. Always good information. Great catching up with RT. This is the second time he's been up. Always nice talking to him. And my girl, JPL. It's been too long since we've had her up. Want to give a special shout out to Pat K for being a member for 11 months. That is awesome. Pat, I love you to death. Got to give Muscles and Mascara another happy birthday. I don't say it near enough, and I need to say it way, way, way more. Thank you. Thank you so much to the Mod Squad. Don't know how you guys do it, how you keep it cool, how you keep everybody feeling like it's okay for them to express their opinion, chat, agree to disagree, and at the end of the day, walk away friends. And all of you guys are the best chat and best community on YouTube. I'll see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. And rest in peace, Loretta Lynn. That's going to kill me for quite a while. You guys are the best. See you later. Bye-bye.